From Christie Mathewson Stadium on the campus of Bucknell University in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, the Lafayette Sports Network, in cooperation with Bucknell University, presents Patriot League football. And Bucknell needs to win the turnover battle. They've already created 19 turnovers by the opponent. 8 interceptions and 11 fumble recoveries. Turnovers are going to be huge in this game.
They absolutely are. Got to hang on to the football. Lafayette did not do that last week, and this could be a big play to start. I mean, a great kickoff team coverage-wise, and Lafayette leads the league in kickoff returns.
So here is the kickoff. It's end over end, but it is short. A fair catch will be called for by Yazir. Check that. It's 44, and that is Will Eisler. And let's go down to John Leone for his first report.
Thank you, Gary. You know, you guys are talking about the similarities in these two teams this afternoon, but one area where there might be a difference is on special teams. Alex Peachin is probably, for sure, one of the best punters in the country. Field position could be very important. On the other side of that coin, Lafayette is one of the few teams in the league who has 2 special teams returns for touchdowns. An interesting part of the game to watch. Back to you guys.
Well, the ball is placed on the 25-yard line. C.J. Emile is in the backfield with quarterback Sean O'Malley. O'Malley is completing 55% of his passes, but he has thrown 8 interceptions. He will not throw here as he gets it right to our impact player. Nick Pearson with the catch. For Pearson, that is his 30th catch of the year. Tackle is made by Garrett Van Italy.
Well, you saw right there, Sean O'Malley. He's going to end up throwing the most passes probably in his Lafayette career here. Completion percentage has to go up. C.J. Emile didn't play a lot in the backfield last week. The week before had a couple touchdowns. And you see, I think, the most electric player in the league right there, Nick Pearson, with a nice slant for a first down.
And we do want to tell everybody we're doing this as a joint broadcast with Bucknell University. So we're happy to enjoy Masson, the Patriot League Network, WBPH Channel 60, and RCN Television. All of them, the family of networks, bringing today's ball game your way. Selwyn Simpson makes the carry. Matt Robinson, the middle linebacker, who came in with 51 tackles, is there to make the tackle to the 46. That's a gain of 8.
Well, it's a defense you're going to see move around a lot. 3 down linemen. They're going to pick 4 or 5 linebackers, kind of mix them in. So they're going to really kind of try to confuse Sean O'Malley today offensively.
From the 46, brings up a second and a couple. And the handoff again to Simpson. He's got running room. In fact, he had a nice hole opened up. And he'll get the ball down into Bucknell territory all the way down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 12 before Rick Matra is there to make the tackle. He had help from Joe Laura, but 3 good plays, Mike, on first downs.
Well, you said it, running behind Kevin Zadoveski and John Burke up front, just taking it to the right side. Gavin Barkley, a big man, 6'5", 295 pounds. And so far, Lafayette over that right side. Something, Gary, they really haven't done all year is run the ball effectively. But you see, if that happens, they're going to be able to open things up down the field for Sean O'Malley.
Well, they already have 20 yards on the ground and 13 yards in the air. Back to throw, looking to go downfield. Firing, he's got a man open, and Stylianos drops the football. Steve Stylianos was open, trying to make his 8th catch of the year. He does not. Joe Laura is there with the coverage.
Yeah, this is a secondary that's very good. They're going to be close on everybody. Stylianos, just a freshman, had a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Central Connecticut. Sean O'Malley doing a good job. Good protection. Remember, this is a team, Lafayette, that has given up the least amount of sacks, just 10 in the league, and 4 of those actually came last week. So they protect Sean O'Malley well. He stepped up in the pocket, just dropped by the freshman.
So it brings up a 2nd and 10. The first time they don't stay ahead of the sticks on first down. Hand the ball off, looking to go, and nowhere. As Selwyn Simpson is going to get nailed. Coming up to make the tackle is Rick Mottram, number 52. The sophomore is out of Cream Ridge, New Jersey. That's his 11th tackle of the year.
Well, again, this is where they're trying to confuse Lafayette up front. So you see Mottram just kind of step up in the gap. A lot of slanting going on. You see, when they take those defensive linemen and they run them through a certain gap, may align, head up, and then take another gap. Very difficult for an offensive line that's going to have to deal with a lot of movement from defensive linemen as well as adding in. You see him again here, add a linebacker into the mix.
Lafayette has had trouble getting first downs on negative plays in a series. Catching the ball, almost stumbling and falling down is J.J. Younger. Younger's going to get it back to not quite the original line of scrimmage, to the 43. So he'll pick up 3 yards on the pass play, but nowhere near a first down for Lafayette. A decision here for John Garrett, and they'll punt it away.
Yeah, good job forcing that 3rd down and long, and those are the situations we touched upon at the beginning, is staying out of those really tough down and distances, and Lafayette on that first down play dropped by the freshman Stylianos would have kept that drive alive.
Brian Marine is back to receive the punt. He averages 11 yards per punt return. In fact, check that. They've got Alan Butler back there. Marine is normally the guy they put back. Not a great punt at all, as the ball will be placed at the 17-yard line. Just a 26-yard punt. When we come back, it's the Bison that will have the football for the first time. We look at a stat comparison brought to you by Easton Hospital. If you need an ER fast, try their ER. With their 30-minute or less ER pledge, you won't want to go anywhere else. So you get a look at the numbers so far. Jared Cooper is in the backfield, but back to throw the ball is Bittenkoffer, and Bittenkoffer throws the ball behind his intended receiver, Justin Bethea. Coverage was supplied by Lafayette's Major Jordan. Let's take a look at the offense.
Well, Justin Bethea is a guy you got to keep an eye on, a wide receiver. He can actually stretch the field. And Jared Cooper, again, he leads the team in not only rushing, but also receiving. So out of the backfield, very good. They've struggled a little bit offensively up front with their line.
And Cooper is just a freshman out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. You get your first look at him. He's not going anywhere. Michael Root is right down there below his knees and puts him down right at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain on the play. Here's the D.
Wow, you look at the Lafayette defense, they have been fantastic, starting with Malik Ham, who's been up for the Jerry Rice Award, the freshman of the year. He's 1 sack behind the leader in the league. And Harrison Greenhill, transfer from Army's done a great job. Their strength of their defense is really this pass rush, and it's going to be on display right here.
Passing situation for Bittenkoffer. He completes 53% of his passes. We've got movement along the line of scrimmage, and we'll wait for the call. Bittenkoffer has thrown 7 interceptions this year.
Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Big penalty right there, Gary. Takes it from 3rd down and 10 to 3rd and 5. So you got to kind of maybe revamp what you're going to do offensively. You can change the play now here. You don't have to work routes all the way down the field. And for Lafayette, they look like they were going to bring a little bit of pressure. We'll see if they stay with that. They play a lot of man free, so you see a lot of bump and run with 1 free safety in the middle of the field.
3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10.
Here comes the pressure.
2-step drop. Bittenkoffer gets it away. It's a first down. Catching the football and moving with it is Brandon Sanders. And Sanders with a big pickup. Takes it into Lafayette territory before Trent Crossan is there to knock him out down to the 44-yard line. A 34-yard pitching catch.
Now you see how big that penalty was against Ryan Barnett for jumping off sides, but nice job by Bittenkoffer. Good pickup of the blitz. Lafayette brought 6 guys up front. They were all picked up, and then the missed tackle. You know, Sanders is a guy that can really motor. A lot of touchdowns last year.
He is a freshman out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. 21 catches now. So it's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Bittenkoffer again. And again, it's caught by Brandon Sanders, who is able to stay on his feet and dive forward to get to about the 35-yard line. Tackle is made by Trey Jordan. He's the first one to get there, along with Jerry Poe and Yazir Thomas. And that's a gain of 9.
Well, Sanders is a guy, Gary, you and I watched at St. Joe's Prep. Yeah, just a great receiver. He can go down the field. He can make plays down the field. Does a great job vertically stretching you, and there you can see what he can do underneath as well.
And they can do just about anything they want. Bucknell on this play, they'll decide to throw it. They were looking for Jared Cooper. He was covered up, and now running is Bittenkoffer. He's not a guy who likes to run all that much, but he certainly did not hesitate there. There's a flag on the play, however, so hold everything. Major Jordan in on that tackle. Bittenkoffer with a minus 41 yards rushing on the year.
You wonder what this penalty is going to be, because Greenhill lost his helmet and then continued to run down the field. So you wonder if this is going to be a penalty for participation without the helmet.
Personal foul. Defense, number 90, participating in a play after his helmet came off. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So the play picks up. We'll have to wait and see exactly where they take the ball to determine as you get a look at the replay. As the gain is down to the 26-yard line. So that was a 9-yard run, and then tack on a 15-yard penalty, not quite 15, as the ball goes down to the 15-yard line.
The funny thing, Harrison Greenhill wasn't in on the tackle. All he did was pursue the play, and they threw a 15-yard penalty on him for getting up and being a football player.
Yeah, if you lose your helmet, you have to basically sit the rest of the play out. Here's a quick slant, and that's an easy touchdown. Down the field, as the ball is caught by Bucknell's Andrew Hours. That is his 14th catch, his second touchdown catch of the year for Logan Bittenkoffer. That for him is touchdown number 5.
Yeah, RPO right here. Look it in. You see the pressure. The conflict player comes on the blitz on the outside. That was Jerry Poe, and he left a wide open seam route there. Trent Crossan just did not get over. So you go back to the 5-yard penalty against Lafayette on 3rd down and 10 for jumping off sides, and it really sparks a great drive by the Bucknell Bison.
In the kick, the extra point is Ethan Torres. The kick is up. The kick is good. The clock reads 9 minutes and 27 seconds. The scoreboard, Bucknell 7, Lafayette nothing. We'll recap
on the field
when we come back. That drive, 83 yards in 6 plays. Bittenkoffer to Hours for the touchdown, 7-0. Bucknell, Selwyn Simpson, J.J. Younger, deep to receive the kickoff of Ethan Torres. As Lafayette will get the ball for the 2nd time. This is going to be a short kick that will be collected by J.J. Younger. Younger has a hole. Watch out. He almost stays on his feet to the 50-yard line, 45-40. 35-30, finally gets knocked out of bounds. Jack Chambers is there to knock him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Watch this return again.
Yeah, again, just so electric. Watch him hit the hole very quickly. Gets through it right there. Watch him put his foot in the ground. Amazing job keeping his balance as he gets around the Bucknell defender and continues that play. The defender couldn't come up and make the tackle. That was Mike Caruso. But J.J. Younger, he's a guy that returned one earlier in the Lafayette season for 95 yards, and it's exactly really what the Leopards needed after a really nice drive by Bucknell on a 3rd down and 5 that they converted.
So great field position for the Leopards. 1st and 10 from the 36. They will readjust Will Eisler to the right side of the field. In the backfield is Selwyn Simpson. He's got the ball. He had a slight hole. He may have gotten a yard at best. And then that hole closed very, very quickly. As coming up to make the tackle was Sammy Chitty, along with Roger Milano.
Well, if you follow the offensive line for Lafayette, they've got to do better just kind of getting that initial push. But you see the extra guys that Bucknell adds in. They put sometimes 5 and 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage covering each and every offensive player, and what that is basically one-on-one football, and that was really a nice scrape across by the linebacker to meet Selwyn Simpson in the hole.
Bucknell gives up just 12.3 points, or they get that many per ball game, but they're a difficult defense to block against because they move so many people around before the ball is snapped. Simpson will carry to the 28-yard line, a gain of 7. Lafayette will look at a 3rd and 2 as a tackle made by Matt Robinson, the middle linebacker.
Now both these teams have really struggled on 3rd down conversions. Lafayette been better lately, now 2nd in the league at 32.5%, but early in the year they were more toward the bottom. They've done a really nice job lately of converting these 3rd downs, especially against Central Connecticut, where they converted the majority, almost 70%.
Get our first look at C.J. Emile in the backfield. He'll get the football. He will not. It's kept by Sean O'Malley, and O'Malley looks like he got the 1st down. As they're going to say, he went out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Grayson Cherubino there to make the tackle. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup, Lafayette's 3rd 1st down.
Well, O'Malley really not known for his running, but this is a little bit of a wrinkle right here. You see the fake inside to C.J. Emile, who had 3 touchdowns a couple weeks ago, and you see Sean O'Malley, just an easy read for him. The DN closes down, he keeps the football. You know, Sean's a guy then can move around in the pocket, and he showed it right there.
Emile averages 3.3 yards per carry. He has a couple of touchdowns this year and a punt return touchdown. High snap, O'Malley collects it. Now he'll look for a white shirt, he'll find one. As this one will be caught downfield by Zadok Scott. As the tackle is made by Brian Marine, along with help from Joe Loro. But that's going to be good enough for a 1st down to the 10, a gain of 12.
Well, Zadok Scott coming off a little bit of an injury. He's just a freshman as well, but a huge target. More of kind of like an H guy, can play inside, can play outside, but he gives Lafayette a lot of height and a lot of that toughness you need down in the red zone.
1st and goal to go, but it's 1st and 10 because the ball exactly on the Bucknell 10-yard line. Again, it's Eisler readjusting this time to the left side. fake the handoff and go. Keeping the football and going nowhere. That's going to be a loss of a yard as Sean O'Malley got tackled and hit by Garrett Van Italy, and that looked like it might have been a busted play, Mike.
Yeah, I think he turned to his right, and the running back was going to his left, as you can see. But he did the smart thing. He just followed C.J. Emil out into the flat. Doesn't pick up maybe a yard there, I guess, but he turned the wrong way, and C.J. Emil might have had a big hole if he would have got the football. So Lafayette, again, just kind of self-inflicting some of the wounds. And you wonder, Gary, how big a touchdown here, an answering touchdown would be for the Leopards.
Well, there's that negative play that has haunted them all year long on their drives. Let's see if they can overcome the negativity of just a yard. Again, O'Malley up the middle on a quarterback draw. So Lafayette using the legs of Sean O'Malley a little more than they have all season long. Rick Mottram is there again to make the tackle at the 4, a gain of 7.
Yeah, good call right there as you spread them out with 4 wide receivers. And Sean O'Malley, a big kid, put on 25 pounds between his freshman and sophomore year. See CJ come up, make a pretty good block on the middle linebacker. And again, 225-pound quarterback. A nice little series for Lafayette, all opened up by that long kickoff return by J.J. Younger. Here's a guy you got to keep your eye on the RPOs, is that Quinn Revere in that slot.
Quinn Revere wears number 8. He has 22 catches on the year. 3rd and goal to go from the 4. Give the ball to Emil. Can he get into the end zone? He'll put his head down, and no signal yet. They're going to say he's down at the 1-foot line. So Lafayette will look at a 4th and less than a yard to try to tie this game up. It's almost a touchdown when the official puts the ball down on the line.
How about it? It's right on the line. And this has got a really great call as they bring John Burke around, and it's hard to believe. As you see right there, CJ on the line. They just didn't give it to him. So Lafayette, this is what you have to do, Carrie. You can't kick a field goal from here. You wonder if they put Sean O'Malley under the center here. They're not going to.
Selwyn Simpson is in the backfield this time. Simpson looking for his first rushing touchdown of the year.
High snap.
He'll get it. He will get in.
Yeah, he did. Forced it in. He's in.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. They have not raised their hands. It is a touchdown. They wanted to make sure, but it took them a long time to raise their hands for that 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that's a great job by Selwyn Simpson. Again, the biggest, strongest running back Lafayette has. Watch the second effort by some high snap. Boom, he just runs right through the end right there, and he gets over the line of scrimmage. Definitely did break the plane there. They will review it as they do all of them. As you see, Van Italy came in, made the initial hit. But again, Gary, you said it. Those little self-inflicted wounds for Lafayette, the high snap almost took them out of that touchdown, as the touchdown is confirmed. Jeff
so the
on.
TD is good, a 36-yard drive in 8 plays, 4:23 on the clock. And it is Jeff Cordenbrock who took over the kicking duties a couple of games ago. He is 3 for 3 in extra points. And the kick is up, and his parents sitting right down in front of us. And Sean O'Malley's parents from Beverly Hills, California, they've made every ball game. We know you're going to come back because we've got ourselves a 7-7 tie on the field. Welcome back. The drive we mentioned, 36 yards in 8 plays. The shocker for Lafayette is 7 of those plays were rushing plays. They have been a team that has not been able to rush the football all year, just 51 yards per game. But they did rush the ball 7 times, and they got the touchdown via the rush.
You see Jacob Bissell here kicking off for Lafayette, the senior.
Brian Marine, Brandon Sanders back to receive it. Bissell's kick is going to be collected right at the 2-yard line by Brian Marine. And he'll take a pretty good lick. So let's go back and kind of recap as we get a flag on the play. Recap the last drive by Lafayette.
Well, it all started with this great kickoff return. Lafayette is leading the league in kickoff returns. And great job keeping his balance and setting up that after a team scores a touchdown. And then obviously a great effort here by the sophomore Selwyn Simpson to spin and use his strength to push into the end zone there against Van Italy. And again, it's going to be which defense can step up, which team's not going to stay. There is no flag on the play.
So the flag we saw is now picked up, and the ball will be placed at the 21-yard line.
Another look here at Logan Bidekoffer, and we haven't seen a lot of Jared Cooper yet. Maybe you'll see if they can get their offensive running game going as well, as Lafayette did on the last drive.
first and 10. The running back remains Jared Cooper. They're not using him too much so far. Getting rid of the football, throwing it away, and taking a good shot at the quarterback was Andrew Chuma as he sent him reeling. Bittenkoffer knocked back about 5 yards. Incomplete.
Well, you see Bittenkoffer, he just wanted, there was 3 slants on the weekend of the strong side that time, and Lafayette covered them up pretty quickly. As you see, get a look at Joe Susan, a long-time coach here at Bucknell, and all over the league, in the Ivy League as well, has a great reputation.
He's in his 9th season as the head coach. And nothing going there either. As carrying the ball was Jared Cooper. The tackle was made by LaBelle Ramsey. And Bucknell's going to look at a 3rd and 9.
I kind of think that Lafayette against the run has a little bit of advantage. They have the better defensive line. They bring in a whole different group of guys to rush the passer here, and you'll see Bittenkoffer right now. Last time he was able to hit Sanders on a little 5-yard pattern, and Lafayette jumped offside, gave him a 3rd and 5, made it a little easier. But again, Lafayette showing a little bit of pressure, trying to put some pressure on Bittenkoffer, the sophomore.
Put their tight end in the backfield to block. That's a good catch, but it's not a first down yet. And they'll mark it just shy of the first down. The ball was caught by Andrew Hours. The tackle was made by Trent Crossan. And they're going to be a yard shy. They only got 8 yards.
It looked like they may go for this. They're going to bring their offense back on the field here. 3rd down or 4th down, like you said, Gary, in about a half a yard. And that's a great route by Hours right there, just moving up the field, taking on the safety, a little bit of a push off at the top of the route. And see, Bucknell's going to go for this one.
Wow, this is a big play here early on from their own 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout.
The ruling on the field of being short of the line to gain is under review.
He just crossed the 30. He obviously had to get to the 31.
All right, let's go down to John Leone.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. You know, the fact that Bucknell in this position on the field is even considering going for it kind of underscores what you guys talked about in the open. These two teams searching for a win any way they can get it. I think if their records were different and if these teams were performing differently, I'm not sure this is a go-for-it kind of situation. Michael, what do you think?
Great point, Gary.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
Yeah, that's a great point, John, as they confirm the ruling.
The runner was short of the line to gain. 4th down.
Yeah, you're looking at two teams that really need to create offense and need to stay on the field offensively, but great route by Hours right there. He catches the ball, he's going to get it. Good job by Trent Crossan. As he gets it up, it's probably going to measure that just short of the line. Yeah, so
it was confirmed, and they're going to punt. Alex Peachin, who is a terrific punter. One of the top punters in the nation, averaging 45.3 yards per punt. Back to receive the punt is C.J. Emile. That's a good punt.
Yep.
It's high, but CJ will try to run it back from his own 17. He's not going anywhere. As that tackle was made by Sterling Deary, who got that down there very quickly. Another freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas.
You don't know anything about Flower Mound, Texas. That is some great football down there. He just does a great job. And C.J. Emile is so terrific. A couple weeks ago returned one for a touchdown for Lafayette against Central Connecticut. So that is terrific punt, terrific coverage.
53-yard punt. Here's John.
Yeah, Gary, Michael, as soon as I sent it back to you guys, I thought to myself, why do you not use the best weapon you may have on your sideline? Alex Peachin just demonstrated why he's one of the best in the country. Back to you guys.
Absolutely. You're going to see Lafayette come out here against Sean O'Malley, 3 wide receivers. Be amazed if Lafayette takes a shot down the field. They like to do that early in ball games.
Like to throw. Instead, they'll get it to Selwyn Simpson out of the backfield on the flat. He'll pick it up, turn it upfield, and get a first down. That's a nice first down play for the Leopards. Tackle made by Matt Robinson. He's been in on a bunch already. Mentioned he had 51 tackles coming in. The gain to the 29 is a gain of 11.
Now this is really nice play. Just get the ball out to the flats. And I kind of went over this earlier in the week with my Inside the Huddle that I do is Lafayette, if they're going to be successful today, they need to use the flats. The soft part of this defense is really going to be outside the tackle box in the flat area. And if you can complete a lot of quick game and a lot of these swing passes, you're going to pick up first downs.
Bucknell has led the Patriot League in total defense 6 of the last 7 years. They always have a good defense under Joe Susan. This year has been no real exception. A quick fire out here, and the ball is caught by Nick Pearson. He manages to turn it upfield for maybe an extra yard. And here comes a penalty flag flying in. I think we're going to have a face mask.
And it was right on the sideline in front of the head linesman, and he's talking to the back judge right now, kind of telling him, I don't think I saw that. But it looked like a face mask to me, a kind of an incidental face mask, as maybe we can get another look at Pearson on the sideline, who catches his second ball of the day.
We'll wait for the call from Jeff Janineski. I said, "What? Please pronounce your name for me." And the other official said, "We just call him Jeff G."
I think they're going to wave this one off, Gary.
There is no flag for face mask. He grabbed his shoulder pad.
Well, we'll get a look and see if that happened. But it came from the back judge, and they got together. Let's see if they were correct or not. But it's going to be a quick sprint out again, taking advantage of the flats. There he is right there.
That's a face mask.
We got the angle as he turned his head around. You can see right there Nick Pearson kind of getting up looking for the flag. And you don't see the head turn that much if it's a shoulder pad.
So they picked up 9, brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 38-yard line. Bucknell showing a 4-man front this time as they give it to Simpson. Simpson tried to get the edge. Now did he get enough for a first down? It looks like he's very close to picking up the yard he did need.
It's going to be close.
Tackle was made by Jimmy Sheehan, along with Nnamdi Unachukwu.
Yeah, big wall of white shirts right there, and you see Selwyn trying to put his foot in the ground and get that upfield. He's going to be short, Gary. He's going to be 3rd down and a half a yard. And again, Lafayette comes in being 2nd in the league at 32%. They converted one down on the goal line, or didn't convert that one, came up with a 4th down and short.
So officially no gain. Here's a quick little toss. That's that. Whoa. Selwyn stepped out of one. He can't step out of a bunch of blue shirts. And Lafayette looking at a 2nd and 1, ends up getting nothing and have to punt the ball away. Tackle by Matt Robinson.
And they got to the line very quickly, but get the Bucknell defense. They got lined up quickly. They knew what their leverages were, and kind of almost like they knew what that play was going to be as Lafayette overloaded the boundary side and went with that quick toss to their biggest back. And this time Selwyn could not get through the tackles, and great job by the Bucknell defense.
Second punt of the day by Jake Bissell. Back to receive the punt is Brian Marine. And now we have whistles as the quarter will come to a close. Nothing decided early. It's 7-7. Come on back. We are back, and we're ready again for Jake Bissell to punt the ball away. Brian Marine is back to return it. He averages 11 yards per return. Bissell has a lot of green to work with here. He wants to let one go. This one will be played at the 28-yard line, as that will be a 37-yard punt by Bissell. In decent field position for Bucknell, as they will have the ball for the 3rd time today.
They started out the game and converted a 3rd down, had a nice couple completions there, kind of took the handcuffs off Bittenkoffer on 3rd down, and they've really kind of yet to establish the running game. Lafayette probably running the ball better than they have all year long in the first quarter there, but so far in the first quarter for Bucknell, they've done most of it through the air, just 3 carries for 8 yards on the ground.
Let's go, Jared.
1st and 10. Jared Cooper will get the ball. So they'll carry for the 4th time. He runs into Malik Ham, also Demetrius Breedlove. And the gain is a small one of a couple of yards.
Jared Cooper, just a freshman, not very big, but he does a nice job kind of hiding behind the offensive line. A great run I saw on film against Holy Cross, where he kind of just bounced around, got behind some of the big offensive linemen, and then turned on the jet. So he definitely has the speed, and he's kind of a home run hitter for them.
2nd and 8. Cooper, not this time. They fake it to him, and now looking to make something happen with his legs. Bittenkoffer, he'll get run out of bounds, as chasing him down was Demetrius Breedlove. Pressure provided by Keith Earl early, and that flushed him out of the pocket.
Yeah, they were looking for Brandon Sanders on a deep cross, but really nice job by the linebacker that time, Major Jordan for Lafayette, who found him and looked him up and took everything away. And then you saw Breedlove right there. Lafayette very anxious to get to the quarterback. We talked about Malik Cam, we talked about Breedlove, and we'll see if Lafayette's defense can come up big here. And for Bucknell, little wide receivers, see if they try to maybe get the ball to the flat one-on-one with some of these receivers.
They'd like to get it to Cooper on most occasions. Not this time, though. They're going downfield deep, and that's a great catch. Getting up in top is Justin Bethea, as the coverage by Eric Mitchell, but Bethea saw it all the way, collected it at the 36-yard line, a nice toss. That is a 30-yard pickup.
Well, when you show bump and run, a lot of times the conversion is just run the fade, and you can see that he gave him enough room. That's a beautiful throw by Logan down the sideline and not finding the football. Eric Mitchell, the junior, just didn't get his head around in time, but Bethea, we talked about him being able to go up and take that out of the air. Beautiful play.
Another big third down conversion. Bucknell came in converting just 22% of them. This time running through a tackle is Jared Cooper before he runs into Demetrius Breedlove. What a nice run by Cooper. Will take the ball to the 31-yard line, a gain of 5.
And now Bucknell trying to pick up a little tempo, staying at the line of scrimmage, and you saw maybe one step away from taking that right there. Cooper broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then Breedlove had to bring him down, but good gain on first down.
Cooper last week had 87 yards rushing and 84 yards receiving, and he had a touchdown in both categories. This one back over the head of quarterback Bittenkoffer, as Pat Finn, making his 18th career start, would rather forget about that snap.
Yeah, that one just shot right. Oh, no chance for Bittenkoffer. That one ends up, he's not even looking. That one goes way up over his head. You know, you and I talked, Gary, about Lafayette's kind of self-inflicted wounds. In Bucknell, you see the same thing on their sideline. Now they're faced with a third down and 20 here. And you wonder if Lafayette's going to bring a little pressure, maybe try to get the ball out of the sophomore's hands quickly, make a tackle, have them punt. But for Bittenkoffer now, this is a tough, tough situation for a young quarterback.
Also 12 yards on that play.
They're going to set up a screen. Well smelled out that time.
So it's a nice safe play, and Keith Earl is there to make the tackle on Jared Cooper, as there'll be a loss back to the 50, so a loss of 2 there.
Now Lafayette showed major blitz coming, and they backed out of it, and they ended up rushing 2 guys, and you saw right there just kind of come off of that play to the outside. Beautiful read that time, just sniffing it out was Keith Earl, the junior defensive tackle. He was really all over the running back from the snap.
Peaching in for his second punt. C.J. Emile is deep to receive. And Peaching gets another high punt away. And Emile, and look at that, takes a perfect bounce. And they're going to say it is down inside the 1-yard line. It could not have been a better punt by Alex Peaching, the senior. We'll be back. We are back awaiting the official's call here, as the punt was under review.
His butt's on the line. I mean, once you go into the end zone and you come back out, and that's the same player that made that great tackle. That's Sterling Deary. But you must establish yourself back into the field of play before you touch the ball. And once he got his hands on the ball and came down, his butt was on the end line. So to me, that should be a touchback. There's no way that should ball. And they actually picked up the ball.
They have picked the ball up, and now John Garrett's getting an explanation. And now we're going to actually get the call. And I think Mike's absolutely right. He's going to come out to the 20-yard line.
After video review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The ball broke the plane of the goal line, therefore it's a touchback. The ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. First down.
So it ends up being a 50-yard punt, but as far as Lafayette's concerned, it's only a net 30 yards as opposed to a net 49.
Well, you can see C.J. Emile moving away from it. It lands at the 4, and then you see Deary. He's in the end zone, but once the ball crosses the plane, just like you do in a touchdown, once it crosses the plane, and you can see his body is touching the line as well, so I think that's a good call. So this officiating crew so far has had a couple tough calls.
All right, let's go down to John. He's watching it all down there.
Yeah, Gary, big special teams play right there. More important, on the Lafayette sideline, J.J. Younger has ice on his elbow. He's down for the half. He'll be reevaluated at halftime. Could be a big loss for the Leopards. Back to you.
J.J., of course, their kickoff returns, and also in there for some offense. Rolling, firing, and that's a completed pass as Selwyn Simpson will turn and get a first down. Tackle is made by Rick Mottram again, as the gain is up to the 32, a gain of 12.
And a nice job by Sean O'Malley in that first quarter. O'Malley 5 for 6 for 48 yards, somewhat of a streaky thrower, but they're getting him out a little bit on the edge. Last week they really had him sitting at that kind of standard target point, 7-8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Very tough to do, but they're moving him around a lot. Right now 6 for 7 for 60 yards and doing a nice job getting his team going again.
First and 10 from the 32-yard line. Fake the pitch, fire out here, catching the ball and turning it upfield is Simpson. Oh, check it, that is 25 Grandjean. Chris Grandjean, who had 6 catches in the Central Connecticut game, now has 8 on the season. And the gain to the 34 is a pickup of a couple.
Yeah, Lafayette student body left that time. Just a big fake to the outside, similar to the play they ran where Bucknell blew it up on the 3rd down and 1. They got the ball back outside to Chris Grandjean. You're kind of waiting for Lafayette to get Nick Pearson involved on something, kind of trying to blow the top off the defense a little bit.
Brian Marine got up quickly on Grandjean, didn't allow him to do anything fancy. Hand the ball off to Pearson. Pearson, who can motor, will get the first down as he will carry the ball up to the 44-yard line. Sam Chitty is there to make the tackle. Chitty leads the team in tackles for a loss with 10 of them. The gain is a gain of 10.
When he gets the ball, Gary, you kind of hold your breath because you know that he can go and dart through that secondary. And Lafayette, whenever they get things going, they really do it with a lot of touches from number 6.
Simpson back in the backfield from the 44-yard line. Lafayette with 48 yards rushing, 62 in the air.
Bucknell now with 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Here comes the blitz from them.
And the ball off, cutting up inside, Simpson, and he'll drag some people. That's a nice run. That's a good, hard 4 or 5 yard pickup. Give him 4 before he's brought down by Matt Robinson. Selwyn getting up rather slowly after the run. The gain to the 48.
And the Bucknell defense, if they kind of have a weakness, is really those 3 down linemen. Remember last year they had Amir Abdullah, one of the best defensive linemen. I mean, Abdullah obviously got a cup of coffee in the NFL. Not sure if he's still on a team, but he was just so hard to block. You had to kind of put 2 guys on him. But right now, just really kind of light up front. And Lafayette, one of the biggest offensive lines in the league.
So the Leopards looking at a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Here's another quick out. Again, it's Grandjean. This time he gets a little bit more room before he's run out of bounds by Fisayoli Ololea out of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Fisayo Ololea.
Yeah, Lidditz, if you don't know where Lidditz is, that's near Lancaster. But you can see Lafayette, again, taking advantage of the flat areas and getting the ball out quick. But, Gary, this is a huge play. Lafayette, we talked about how good they are sometimes on 3rd down, and then sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot. Last time they ran the ball in this situation, and Bucknell was up to the task. Again, midfield, it's a huge play to try to keep this drive alive.
They need a couple of yards. They'll get a couple of yards as breaking through with a good run. Carrying the ball is C.J. Emile, and he hit that hole very rapidly, and a nice hole opened up by the Lafayette offensive line. Give credit to Marotti and Greaser and Zadoveski and Burke and Barkley.
Well, you said it. Watch the block right there. You see Zadoveski does a nice job. He gets up the field, but he doesn't vacate his spot. Kind of holds his ground and then picks up the linebacker that was kind of coming across the other side. But really nice job right there. You said it, Gary. Marotti did a nice job. Greaser did a nice job as well. And Lafayette, big first down there.
Gain of 10. First down number 8 for the Leopards. Again, it's Simpson. This time the hole closed very quickly. It was there and then it wasn't. Has a nice job by 41 Sam Chitty to close it up, along with 26 Joe Lauro. So a good job by the Bucknell defense, no gain.
Yeah, Joe Lauro's a terrific ball player. Makes plays not only in the secondary, but look at how close he plays to the line of scrimmage. He reminds me a little bit, I'm a Jet fan, I love Jamal Adams, you know. A guy that can play in the box and then still be able to play deep in the secondary. That's a terrific pay by Lauro, especially on first down when you want to try to force the Leopards back into those 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations.
I'm sure there's another Jet fan out there that understands the illusion you just made. Back to throw. O'Malley over the middle, has his man. That's caught by Quinn Revere. There's the Quinn Revere guy that Mike was talking about. Down to the 25-yard line. Benson on the tackle along with Robinson, but that again will be a Lafayette first down to the 25, a gain of 13.
Well, Quinn Revere does all the dirty work for Lafayette's team. He's the Wes Welker kind of this team, the guy that can sit down in that zone. Great protection again. Lafayette, we talked about how well they keep Sean O'Malley upright, but Quinn Revere had a big game a couple weeks ago, 8 catches. Just a guy that can move the chains for you and very, very smart when it comes to sitting down in the zone.
O'Malley 9 for 10 for 79 yards. Back pump fake, they want it to go deep. They'll go deep downfield and it's overthrown. As they tried to go downfield to Julian Spigner, who gave a little out and up. Sean O'Malley a pump fake and go, and they never connected.
Well, that's a good call. You get down toward that red zone, and those corners start to creep up here. And, you know, he's a big guy to take control of. Julian Spigner gets the inside leverage, the inside control there on Adelewu, but he just cannot pull that in. As you get a look at Younger there, I saw him when he came off after the kickoff, kind of holding that left elbow. Chances are he'll probably be back in.
All right, let's see if the Leopards can overcome a play with no gain. They're going to give it to O'Malley, trying to get the edge. He won't get much of the edge, as at the most he picked up a yard before Brandon Benson was there to make the tackle, a sophomore out of Triangle, Virginia. He's the weak side safety. Gain of just 1, it brings up a 3rd and 9.
Well, obviously Lafayette wants to pick up this first down, and they've kind of tried to use Sean O'Malley's legs a little bit. This time Bucknell up to the task. Great job staying home by the outside linebacker that time, not biting down inside. So you think Lafayette right now looking at about a 41-yard field goal.
Gordon Brock has a 40-yard field goal this year. In fact, he had it in the last ball game. And Lafayette, here comes the blitz. Picked up beautifully by Emil, and it goes for naught. They tried to find Grand Jean, but C.J. Emil did a great job of picking up that blitz.
Yeah, he absolutely did, and you saw just a little bit of panic that time by the quarterback, Sean O'Malley. He kind of thought that that blitz was going to get to him, but like you said, Gary, just a great pickup by C.J. Emil, the senior, and then so O'Malley, instead of kind of settling down and kind of stepping up in that pocket, he forced the throw to the outside. If he would have come back to the same side, usually when you're throwing the ball and you get the blitz, you want to throw the ball right back at the blitz, because that's where the advantage is going to be, safety on tight end, and I think Stilianos was open down the seam.
This is going to be a 41-yard field goal. As we mentioned, Gordon Brock 3 for 4 on the season. Took over the field goal duties a couple of games ago. Last game was his first 2 field goal game in his career, as the Leopards only had 2 field goals on the board last week against Georgetown.
Please set the game clock to 5:26. 5:26. Started on my ready for play.
Sean O'Malley is the holder here as well. He does the holding. If Bissell was kicking, you'd see Gordon Brock do the holding, but the quarterback, Sean O'Malley, is the holder. And right here, Coach Noodleberg, the special teams coordinator for Lafayette, is just looking for snap, hold, kick. You want to get it in and out at about 1.6.
Please set the game clock to 5:33. They'll start on the snap.
So they reset the game clock twice. So Bucknell doesn't need to ice Gordon Brock. The officials have done a pretty good job of doing it themselves with a couple of resets on the game clock. So the situation does not change. A 41-yard field goal. Lafayette trying to take the lead here. You've got a great view of it. Down, kick is up, certainly long enough, but it is wide to the left side, and Lafayette will come up empty on that drive. So Bucknell will get the ball. They haven't had it very often. They have only run 17 plays here in the first half. They only have 2 first downs, 8 yards rushing and 94 yards in the air. We'll be back for that drive right after this. We are back. That drive, by the way, covered 76 yards in 6 plays. It took 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And Bucknell is up by a 14-7 score on the Bittenkoffer to Hours touchdown pass.
How about both these quarterbacks, Gary? 18 for 23 for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both quarterbacks that have been somewhat maligned here, and both of them are stepping up today.
Simpson and Emil are back to receive the kickoff, and it will come to Simpson if he decides to pick it up. Well, it takes a roll for Bucknell. Now Simpson doesn't have a lot of running room, as that ball just simply took a Bucknell roll, and Lafayette will be deep in their own territory. Here's the TD.
Oh, you see him put the football in. This is actually the first play of the drive that got things going there as they dump it off into the flat, and this is going to culminate with that same route they ran down the seam. Here it is. Put it in, pull it back out. We got cut off there a little bit, but you saw just a beautiful route in the freshman hours as 2 touchdowns really on the exact same play. Lafayette defensively has got to find a way to sew up that RPO that Bittenkoffer's running so well right now.
New running back for Lafayette, it's Mike Dunn in there from Yarmouthport, Massachusetts. Back to throw, here's a slant, and it's still up in the air, it's intercepted. As the ball will be caught by Jared Van Italy, who was a star last week. Last week, 8 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, a forced fumble, and now he has himself an interception, his first of the year.
Yeah, just off the hand, same play. Lafayette opened up the day with that slant play inside to Pearson, as you see right there. Alawe get his hands in there, tap that up into the air, and you know, I watched a couple games on these guys, and they are really, Bison got a great secondary, very opportunistic, and exactly what the Leopards did not need. 2 minutes and 43 seconds before the end of the half. This is a sudden change. You got to be aware, if you're Lafayette, of them going right to the end zone again on the first play.
The ball on the 23-yard line. That was the 9th Bucknell interception of the year. And now running around, Bittenkoffer, he'll go down. Nice play by Lafayette's Andrew Chuma, who got in there to get the sack. Andrew Chuma. For him, that is his 3rd sack of the season.
Now Bucknell runs the exact same play, just trying to get the ball to the outside. Chuma almost loses contain, and Bittenkoffer almost loses the football. But for the senior, that is a big-time play to kind of push them out of field goal range, which is huge. If Lafayette can turn this into a field goal, that would be a win.
As we approach the 2-minute mark, it brings up a 2nd and 23 on a loss of 13. Bittenkoffer back, drops the ball into the side to Brandon Sanders. Sanders doesn't get much. Lafayette covers it up very nicely. That's a gain of just 2 yards.
And if you're Bucknell right now, what you want to do is try to pick up 8 or 10 yards. This one was really smelled out well into the boundary. They give the ball quickly out there, and you see right there Jerry Poe. He's a handful. He takes on the receiver, blows him up into the play, and then the unblocked Yasir Thomas makes the tackle. So if you're Bucknell here, you want to try to obviously run the clock down as they're doing right now. You wonder maybe why Lafayette's not using a timeout, try to get an extra possession. But if you pick up 8, 9, 10 yards, you have a chance to go up here by 10 points.
Torres is their field goal kicker. He's 3 for 4 on the year, so he's been accurate, but his longest is 26 yards. As they look at a 3rd and 21, and now we are going to get a timeout from Bucknell.
Timeout, Bucknell. That's their first timeout of the half.
Bucknell has a bye week after the ball game today, and then they'll take on Lehigh in 2 weeks. For Lafayette, they'll take on Fordham at Fordham, so they'll travel to Bronx, New York. That's a 1 o'clock game. You can see that game on the Patriot League Network, as the Lafayette Sports Network will not be there to bring you that one. We will be back against Holy Cross in 2 weeks for a 12:30 start. That ball game being played at Fisher Stadium.
A great call here for Bucknell would be a draw inside. Lafayette looking for the pass. And if you can kind of maybe pop Jared Cooper for, you know, maybe not 20 yards in the first down, but if you can pick up 8, 9, and 10, you got an opportunity here to go in at half up by 10, and then get the football, Gary, coming out after halftime as well.
They have 1 minute and 14 seconds to work with. They have 2 timeouts left. Lafayette has not used the timeout here in the first half. So they don't need all 21. They just like to get in a position to kick a field goal and get up by 10. Bittenkoffer, 2-step drop. Looking downfield, he flips it underneath as the ball is caught by Jared Cooper. Cooper will take it to the 27 before Jerry Poe will put him down. A gain of 7, and Mike, they're going to be looking at a 44-yarder. They decide to kick a field goal here.
That's their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
They're going to call a timeout here, maybe to get 1 more possession. But you know, Bucknell actually, I think they're thinking about possibly going for a good check down there by Bittenkoffer, and Lafayette rallies to make the play and brings up 4th down and 14. You're right on the edge right there, 45, 44-yard field goal. if I'm Bucknell, I think I need to try to take the points and get that 10-point lead into the halftime. Bucknell field goal wise is 4 for 7 this year.
They are 4 for 7, as Torres is 3 for 4. Their other field goal kicker is Jack Chambers. He is 1 for 3, but he has a longer one made, a 34-yarder, and they're going to run a play here.
Yeah, I kind of like this call as well. You get a big play here for a first down or for a touchdown, and you get the ball coming out of half. The guy you got to watch here is Hours, who's got 2 touchdowns down the seam.
Hours is in a slot to the right side. Back to throw. Bittenkoffer, he's going. No, he doesn't go down. A missed sack by Lafayette. And sliding, and they'll get the ball back as Bittenkoffer slid and then got hit by Keith Earl at the 21. So they only gained 6. They'll turn the ball over on downs.
Keith Earl had him in the back. Watch Keith Earl just kind of dip his shoulder here and get right to the quarterback. Here he comes, and Keith Earl just can't understand. He's had a couple of those this year where he's had the quarterback in his arms and just not being able to wrap up and bring him down. Lafayette will get the football back there, but there's a sack there that Keith Earl probably thinks should be in the stat book.
So Lafayette with 2 timeouts left and 52 seconds to work with. So let's see how creative they want to be here. C.J. Emile in the backfield. They'll give it to Emile, and not much there as he runs right into a hole that's closed very quickly by number 22, Chance Riley out of Montclair, New Jersey. Riley is a senior. Gain of a yard.
I might take a shot, maybe take a shot, see if Nick can get behind somebody.
This time they'll drop the ball on a slant pattern to Quinn Revere. That'll stop the clock till they move the chains, get it up to the 36-yard line, a gain of 14.
We're going right back to the line of scrimmage here. Nick's got one-on-one coverage down here with Brian Marine. It's a good matchup.
Back to throw. They're going to look this way. And Pearson will get the ball to the 44, so he'll pick up 8 before Marine does knock him out of bounds.
You got one-on-one coverage down at the bottom with probably the fastest player in the league, and you gotta, if you're going to give him something, you want to give him the underneath stuff. And that time Brian Marine showed a little bump and then backed out. The out route was wide open.
Bucknell, that's their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So unofficially right now, it's Sean O'Malley 11 for 15 for 101 yards.
They're going to have to reset the clock. The clock ran down to 8 seconds left, and I think it was somewhere around 18.
The fans are reminding the officials.
18 seconds.
Yeah, the fans wanted to help the officials out there. They add 10 seconds to the game clock.
Well, that's a big stand by Lafayette's defense there, Gary. I mean, obviously to not give up any points after you get an interception down inside the 30-yard line. The first play, huge play by Andrew Chuma, the senior defensive end, and he comes up with a big sack and puts them back against the sticks here.
We've seen John Garrett with some trickery plays in the last couple of years. Used a bunch in the Lafayette-Lehigh game, and let's see if he wants to do something really creative in the last 18 seconds.
Bucknell kind of living on the edge. They have one single receiver here at the bottom.
Well, there was good protection, and then there wasn't. Sam Chitty got in there. He got taken down by Emile, and then he got right back up, and he would not be denied. The loss back to the 36 is a loss of 8.
I think Lafayette's just going to let the clock run out here. And good half of football, though, for both quarterbacks that we kind of questioned their ability to kind of move the football. Both quarterbacks played well.
We thought it would be a defensive struggle. It has been just that. 14-7 at the half. A couple of Bittenkoffer touchdown passes to number 80, Andrew Hours out of Florida. Lafayette scored on a short field. They only had to go 36 yards. Selwyn Simpson, the final yard. Here's John.
Thank you, Gary. Coach, good job defensively. You turned the ball over, the defense stiffened, and you've shown the ability to move the ball. You got to finish drives.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a heck of a game. Going back and forth, they're doing some good things on offense, and we just, exactly right. We're moving it, but we got to get some points off of these drives.
We'll get them in the second half, Coach.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Gary, Michael, back to you guys.
Well, one of the keys was to score touchdowns. Lafayette got just one. We'll be back.
Come on!
time for the first half highlights. They're presented by RCN, life redefined in cable, in phone, in internet. Here's Mike.
Well, you see right there, Bittencofer's going to hit Sanders on a little slant pattern. That missed tackle breaks it in, and this is after a 3rd down and 5 conversion there. Keeps that drive alive. A couple plays later, you see Andy Hours. He's going to take it in for the 14-yard touchdown. Miscommunication in the Lafayette secondary, 7-0. But right away, you see a guy like J.J. Younger, who may play the second half, may not. He returns it all the way across the 50, sets Lafayette up for a short field. And you see right here, O'Malley's going to hit to the outside. Julian Spigner, big receiver, gets it down inside the 10-yard line. And a couple plays later, you're going to see just a nice answer by Lafayette's offense from that 7-0 lead here. A good run by Selwood Simpson. Great second effort to get across. It took a couple seconds to find out if it was a touchdown or not, but at that point we were tied 7-7, still in the first quarter. O'Malley's going to hit Quinn Revere down the middle of the field. That's something that Lafayette's got to continue to do. Spread the football around. Almost 100 yards, over 100 yards in that quarter for O'Malley. And you see the missed field goal, 41 yards right there. Cordenbrock not able to cash in. A good throw down the sideline. Caught here on the outside by Alan Butler, and that turns into another Andy Hours touchdown down the middle of the field. So at that point, 14-7 for Lafayette. They need to come back. They need to answer, but they don't. An interception by an opportunistic defense makes a big play right there. Jared Van Italy makes the interception, but as we heard Joe Susan say, they can't cash in. The sack by Chuma pushes them back out of field goal range. They end up going for a 4th and long and not turning it over. So both teams with some self-inflicted wounds, not being able to cash in. And like you said, Gary, we're just not getting the points that we need from both teams to kind of make that pull-away 2-score advantage. Lafayette will have to kick the football off here.
These two teams started playing in 1883. This is the 96th game, the 74th consecutive game. No rival any greater than this one, except for Lafayette Lehigh. 154th is coming up on the 17th of November. Bucknell has had the better of it. They've won the last 4. As Lafayette last beat Bucknell in 2013, and in that year, Lafayette won the Patriot League Championship. And Mike, last year, 13-7 ball game, Lafayette didn't give up a defensive point. 2 interceptions, both returned for touchdowns.
Both returned, and the most important one returned by Colin Genova, 95 yards in overtime. Lafayette got the ball first. They threw a kind of a fade down the sideline, and Genova came over, picked it off, and then kind of maneuvered his way all the way down the Bucknell sideline, 95 yards. And Bucknell's offense really never had to see the field in that overtime as they returned it and won that football game, like you said, but not a single offensive point for Bucknell. Today, a little different, 14 points for them, and Lafayette's defense is going to be asked to call upon right away here. They played well in the second half last week against Georgetown, pitching a shutout, but they're going to have to do the same here. I think they have to keep Bucknell out of the end zone this entire half. And you look at Lafayette, they've only scored 23 points the entire year in the second half. So some things are going to have to go Lafayette's way here, but Bucknell, you see if they maybe turn it over to their defense to win this football game for them.
It will be Jake Bissell to kick it off. Brandon Sanders and Brian Marine are back to receive the kickoff. It is high, it is end over end, and it is in the end zone. Let's see, they will not bring the ball out. It'll come out to the 25-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Bison. 11 for 13 for 169 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That's the first half for Loden Bittencofer. That's a very good first half for him, as he's now up to 6 touchdowns on the year. He started 4 games ago as he took over for their starting quarterback, who was John Charlanzio. John's brother played for Lafayette just a few years ago. And now it's Bittencofer who's in there. Jared Cooper in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 25. It's turned into a beautiful afternoon. It is Cooper with the football. He's not going to get much, maybe a couple of yards at best, because he is hit by Malik Ham and also Yazir Thomas in on the hit. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
And again, nice play by Malik Ham, just kind of squeezing down there, getting a good look at the mesh point as Cooper comes out with the football, and he's able to disengage and make a good tackle there for Lafayette, creating a 2nd down and long.
Bittencofer will take a 2-step drop, now try to step up. He will. He's going to keep the football. and he'll get run down by Demetrius Breedlove at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 8. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, good job stepping up in the pocket again. Another Lafayette defender had him in the grasp here. They just can't bring him down. As you see Greenhill, he's got him just down by the legs, and nice job by Bittenkoffer making a play.
They'll go hurry up as Major Jordan is there to stop Jared Cooper. Cooper lowered his shoulder, so did Major Jordan, and there's a gain of 2. Only 15 yards officially on the ground for Bucknell. They've had a couple of sacks that have really hurt that number. Rolling, Bittenkoffer looking. He's going to lob one downfield, just throw it out of bounds. He was looking for Alan Butler, but Butler was double teamed by Yazir Thomas and Trey Jordan.
Yeah, really nice coverage that time. Not only by Jordan and Thomas over the top, but they had slid Sanders out on a little flat pattern, and that was well picked up by Jerry Poe in the flat. So 3rd down and long here, and if you're Bittenkoffer, you want to take what Lafayette gives you. You don't want to turn the football over here and give them any life. And chance for Lafayette's defensive line maybe to get a sack.
Bucknell was 3 for 5 on 3rd downs in the first half. Back to throw, firing, and a bad pass. Coming back was Brandon Sanders. He never had a chance to make that catch. Coverage by Yazir Thomas, and the Lafayette defense comes up big on the first Bucknell possession.
Yeah, they came with a little bit of pressure, didn't get all the way home, but I think what happened there, Sanders was working on Yazir Thomas in the slot. That's a really nice matchup. 2 good athletes going at it. I think Sanders kind of broke down a little bit as he came out of his route, and the ball just a little bit off.
Alex Peachin will go back to work. As we mentioned, 51.5 yards average in the first half with a couple of punts. This again is a very high one. And for CJ comes up to get the football. He took a chance there, but it ended up working out pretty well for him. As we're going to get a timeout down on the field, and Lafayette will have decent field position at the 39-yard line. We are back. Here's our trivia question of the day, brought to you by St. Luke's University Health Network. Freshman Malik Ham already has more sacks, 4.5 of them, this season than any player in the previous 4 years. Who was the last Leopard to record 5 sacks in a season? We'll give you that answer in a bit. If you know that answer, you're a Lafayette fan. I guarantee you. From the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Leopards, Mike Dunn in the backfield to start the second half. And the ball off to Dunn. Dunn hits the hole. And he shakes through that first wave of tacklers. And Dunn brought down by Matt Robinson. Almost everybody has been brought down by Matt Robinson. That's a gain of 9.
You know, watch Lafayette. They noticed that Bucknell stacks the field. They brought 2 linebackers up into the B and C gap. That's a nice change right there. He might have been an Omaha or an overcall that time by Sean O'Malley, running the ball into the boundary. So good check at the line of scrimmage by the sophomore quarterback.
2nd and 1. Let's see if the Leopards want to. Oh, that's going to be a first down. Is getting a little antsy with Sam Chitty. And Chitty's going to give up 5. That's the first Bucknell penalty.
Number 41. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Here's John with an injury report.
Thank you, Gary. You heard Joe Susan talk about Lafayette's athletes on his way out of the halftime locker room. On that front, J.J. Younger emerged from the halftime locker room for Lafayette without his pads. That's not good news. He has an elbow. He'll be lost for the rest of the game.
All right, John, thank you very much. He talks to the trainers, and now we'll get injury reports. Good job by John. Hand the ball off, dancing through. Mike Dunn again. And Dunn saw a good hole and took full advantage of it. He may have fumbled the football. There's no signal there by the officials. It'll be Lafayette ball at the 42-yard line in Bucknell territory, a gain of 5.
Now, we were here a couple of years ago, Gary, and I remember we had Michael Dunn with a really beautiful run from about the 18 or 20-yard line going toward the scoreboard to get to cut the lead down for Lafayette. They ended up losing the football game, but Michael Dunn is a freshman getting a couple carries and now getting back in there right now and showing his strength at the point of attack.
Just had 50. Making 25 yards total on the season, averaging 2.1 per carry. Now Lafayette looks at a 2nd and 5. O'Malley, quick throw, and just a little bit beyond the outstretched dive that time of Nick Pearson.
And a ball thrown really hard to the outside. Probably the only place Sean could put the football there is you saw the defensive back trying to get underneath it. And that, again, that was Van Italy. He's played a nice game so far. That time got underneath just to kind of throw away the straight line throw from O'Malley to the receiver.
And here we go with another situation where the Leopards don't get any yardage on that play. Can they overcome it? They were 2 for 6 on first downs in the first half.
John Garrett's had a tendency sometimes to go up top on some of these third downs. Blitz is coming.
It is coming. It's picked up pretty well. Fired out there. And will that be a first down? Depends on the spot. As the tackle was made by Fisio Oluleo. The catch was made by Julian Spigner. And they're going to say fourth down. Nope, they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, Spigner knew where the sticks were here. Great pickup again by C.J. Emil in the backfield that time. And Spigner's a big kid. You know, he turns it upfield, 6'3", 195 pounds. Again, that's a completion on the outside to Spigner, but, you know, give a lot of credit to C.J. Emil for picking up the blitz and giving O'Malley that sight line.
The 12th first down of the game for Lafayette. First and 10 from the Bucknell 37. Hand the ball off, hitting the hole quickly is C.J. Emil, and Emil will get to the 34 or 33. Looks like the 33-yard line, a gain of 4. Second and 7. They're only going to give him 3. Second and 7.
Two similar running backs. C.J. Emil in there, obviously the senior. Jared Cooper, just a freshman, but both very explosive. And anytime they get their hands on the football, you kind of get the feeling that they can bust one. And a couple weeks ago, you saw C.J. Emil do that now under center, Sean O'Malley. Don't see this very often.
And that's why he was under center. He got it to Nick Pearson. And Pearson, I think, may have been better served to cut up inside. Instead, he decided to try to get the edge, which he did get. But there was a little bit of a hole. Had he cut up, put his foot in the ground, he did not. A gain of 5.
When you got great speed like that, second time we've seen this play here, just a speed sweep. And Bucknell was a little better job running it there. Brian Marine did a nice job just keeping his outside leverage. And Marine's one of the best defensive backs in the league, the senior, 5'10", 180. Kept that from being, like you said, Gary, a much, much bigger play. And you wonder if Lafayette, with looking at maybe a 45, 46-yard field goal, is in 4-down territory here.
Marine's up for the Campbell Trophy, which is an academic Heisman Award. So he's not only a good football player, he's an outstanding student. Oh, waiting for a hole to form. Dunn with the run. Mike Dunn just waited and waited, and the patience paid off. Jimmy getting run out of bounds by 22 Chance Riley. But that's probably the best run of the day, and that's a very intellectual run to the 13.
Intellectual run, I love it. Nice job there by Marotti, just kind of wheeling his guy to the outside. And another guy that for Lafayette who's been in there playing a lot, the freshman Joe Grunhofer, 6'6", 260 pounds out of Wisconsin Rapids. Just a beautiful job by him, just continuing to work the block.
That was a pickup of 16 yards.
Looks like he might be changing the play right here. There's a lot of guys in the box for Bucknell.
Dunn has 30 yards already on just 3 carries. There he makes another nice cut. He's in for the touchdown. Oh my! As Michael Dunn comes off the bench and has himself quite a series. A 13-yard run for the touchdown, and now Lafayette will try to tie the game up.
Yeah, you said it, Gary. Just great presence and a lot of patience there. And again, a great block by the freshman Stylianos, Grunhofer, Marotti on the outside, and great patience by Dunn. I think Dunn, coming from Cape Cod, likes to come down here. 4 carries, 43 yards. He likes it down here in Lewisburg.
And his first touchdown of the year, as trying to tie it up now, is Jeff Kortenbrock. Down, up, and not a pretty kick by any stretch, but it's good. So the Kortenbrock knuckleball will tie this game up at 14-14. Come on back. That drive, 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go 61 yards in 8 plays. Mike Dunn took care of most of that yardage, wanted 39 yards on the last couple of carries. Mike Dunn with the longest run of the day, 16 yards by a Leopard. We are knotted up at 14 all.
He had 105 yards so far on the ground, 25 carries, a little over 5 yards a carry. Bucknell 15 carries for just 15 yards, and that was a big 3 and out by Lafayette's defense to turn the ball back over. And a good return. Don't go back to the C.J. Emil return, which picked up 10 or 15 yards.
This is high, end over end, into the end zone again. As it is fielded by Brian Marine. Turns around, puts his knee down at the 25. Here's John.
Gary, absolutely. You know, a lot of history between these two schools. This is actually the 96th meeting, and one of those elements of similarities involves a man by the name of George McGackey. George, in 1935, was a tremendous center. He's a Hall of Famer at Bucknell. He's also in the Lafayette Hall of Fame. The player of the game by vote of the coaches of this game, the Bucknell-Lafayette game each year, is awarded the McGackey Trophy as the player of the game between Lafayette and Bucknell. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. I actually have a guy sitting next to me who won the McGackey Award. It was not Pete Bowman.
1986.
Yes. Lafayette with a good job as they kept Jared Cooper on the inside, and coming up to make the tackle is Jerry Poe. That's a loss of 5, or make it 4.
Really struggling to run the football here, and you wonder what kind of effect that's going to have. But going back there, you're right. 1986 had 3 interceptions on this field. Very fond memories of Lewisburg. And
well, we do have to tell everybody
Award.
When Mike got here, he took us through
did.
each spot where he made the interception. I was bored stiff, but
Yeah.
but at least he got it out and got it out of his system. Back ready to throw the ball. He drops it off. And I guess that's a good catch because they're going to keep the clock going. Alex Twyford with the catch as Jerry Poe is there to make the tackle. And they will mark this one at the 23-yard line. So that's a gain of just 2 yards.
Yeah, good job by the freshman Malik Ham, just keeping contained that time. You saw early in that second quarter, Bittenhofer coming out, hitting him for a nice first down. And that time just nothing there as Ham kept him in the box, and Jerry Poe finished it off. So Lafayette's defense stepping up again like they did last week against Georgetown here in the second half.
They actually gave him 3 yards on that catch, so it brings up a 3rd and 11. Back, firing downfield, and it's going to be intercepted. No! In and out of the hands of Yazir Thomas. What an interesting play as it unfolded. Brandon Sanyard saw the ball. Thomas did not. He turns in the last second, and the ball is right in his hand.
And a good throw from Bittenhofer. This is a ball that's really not gone Lafayette's way. It's a little underthrown that time, and the guy who only has Lafayette's only interception of the year, Yasir Thomas, just gets his head back in time, and the safety coming over the top. So Lafayette's defense a little pumped up right now, an opportunity here. Alex Peachin, you know he can change field position. C.J. Emil, who's very dangerous with the football.
Well, the Leopards have stopped Bucknell in their 2 possessions. Another great punt. Boy, he gets elevation. Oh my, what a hit. And that's what happens when the punt is that high. There's no chance for much of a return. Sterling Deary with that hit. When we come back, Lafayette will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. We are back. Selwyn Simpson is in the backfield, but C.J. Emil is flanked out to the left side, which is an unusual set for Lafayette. Let's see what they do with it on 1st and 10. Well, here comes Emil. And he's going to go. They dropped the ball. And I don't know whether he was supposed to get it or not get it, but he didn't. O'Malley dropped the football, and the loss will be back to the 21, a loss of 4.
Well, that's the read option there, and I don't think on 1st down, Sean O'Malley's not supposed to give that ball to Emil. It was pretty good timing. Emil just didn't clamp down on the ball. And I'm not sure who you put the blame on right there, but Lafayette comes out of a timeout and loses 5 yards. It's just not good football right there. John Garrett's not going to be happy about that.
That RPO turned into an RPF with a fumble. Loss of 4. 2nd and 14. We'll readjust with Stylianos, and now he goes right back where he was. Hand the ball off. And a decent hole up the gut. Got the loss of 4 back, plus as they get it to the 28-yard line, a gain of 7.
It's really taken advantage today of Bucknell running the ball at the perimeter. This time they hit the inside, just midline play. A little bit different today. They're bringing the tight end across. That H-back Stylianos comes out. You make it look like you're kind of trying to bounce it to the outside, but if he had good success running the football, well over 100 yards today. And Grandjean is going to be split down. He's been the guy on 3rd downs that Lafayette's really looked to the last couple of weeks.
Third and 6. They have to get the ball to the 35. Good protection this time. Fire, oh no. As that one was telegraphed, and this has been the curse of playing Bucknell on this field. The interception almost returned, or is it returned? That's a touchdown. Oh my, another returned interception for a touchdown. They had 2 last year, and now this one, as it's intercepted by Sterling Deary, his first interception of the year, and he returns it for a touchdown.
Yeah, just a play that took too long to develop. They're trying to get a deep out on the outside, but Sterling Deary, he's not only played a great game there, but he's been unbelievable on special teams. What a pick. He steps in front of it. It's a 30-yard throw to the outside. Just a late throw to the outside by Sean O'Malley. And you said it, Gary, if you're a Lafayette fan, we've kind of seen this book a long, long time in a row. And that ball just late to the outside, and a really nice break by Deary to step in front of it. Sean did everything he could to keep him out of the end zone.
Ethan Deary, or check it, Ethan Torres in to kick the extra point. The officials, I think, making sure that he got in, but I don't think there's any question he was never down. And all those big bodies just kept moving him forward. So it comes with 5:55 on the clock in the third quarter. So 3 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns, 3 for touchdowns in the last 2 years. Let's take another look at it.
Again, a long developing play. You're asking Pearson to run down the field and run probably about a 15-yard comeback. You can see Sean's got good protection there, and he's staring down his receiver, and Deary just steps in front. Good block there to get Pearson out of the play. And like you said, Sean does everything he can, but a wave of players there. Brian Marine just pushing them into the end zone. Very opportunistic defense. The second interception of the game, and this one cost Lafayette points.
Looked like a 40-yard interception return for a touchdown. Here's John.
Thanks, Gary. We talked about Bucknell's punt game. Let's go back a couple of plays earlier, Michael. Remember the near miss on the interception and how that impacts the next 2 or 3 plays down the road. We allow Peacham a chance to kick the football away and puts Lafayette behind the sticks. Next thing you know, it's 7 for Bucknell. Back to you guys.
Well, we knew coming in turnovers were going to be a part of this football game. Bucknell has now intercepted 10 passes this year. They've recovered 11 fumbles. And on the other side, Lafayette's been intercepted 11 times, and they have fumbled the ball away 6 times. So we said as one of our keys of the game, the turnovers really win that battle. It's all Bucknell so far. Emil from the 15-yard line. He gets twisted up a little bit. Tackle made by Brandon Benson. Also in there was Garrett Van Italy. Lafayette will have it on the 34. Once again, they're down by 7.
And that's, again, you go back to the interception. Tough throw for Sean O'Malley to the outside. Maybe a slant or something to the inside where you can guarantee that your receiver is going to be inside the defender. And the only place maybe it can be picked off is if it tipped or thrown a little bit high. But Lafayette going to have to dodge a bullet here, try to tie this football game up. They find themselves again down by 7.
Lafayette has thrown 5 interceptions in the last 2 weeks. Mike Dunn is the running back. Steps up in the pocket, fires, and that's Quinn Revere, I believe, with the catch. And it looks like he got enough for the first down. Tackle by Chance Riley. And it is Revere who makes the 10-yard grab.
And good job, good protection there. Quinn Revere goes down about 12, 15 yards, works back to the football, sure hands. Nice job against that zone. Haven't seen Bucknell bring a lot of pressure here so far in the second half, but you can bet if Lafayette crosses the 50-yard line, they're going to take a chance at bring a little bit of pressure, try to get into Sean O'Malley, who's had a tendency to turn the football over.
First and 10 from the Lafayette 44. Done. How about a reverse? Here comes Pearson around the other side. Pearson cuts up inside. He'll get 9. And number 9 tackled him. That's Brian Marine. And it's going to be 2nd and 1.
A bit of trickery right there. Again, just another way to get the ball to Nick Pearson on the reverse. So you can see Dunn come out here. Good blocking. He flips it up in the air. Sean O'Malley gets a little bit of a chip block. Not much, but Pearson picks up 9 yards. So Lafayette trying to answer here across the 50-yard line. This is very is an area of the field where you see teams, once they cross the 50, try to maybe take a shot over the top. Lafayette's not trying to build the top off the defense all day.
Pearson has rushed for 24 and caught for 30 downfield. They drop the ball in the hands of Zadok Scott, who will take it downfield, a stiff arm. I thought he stepped out of bounds, and I think the officials will say he did at the 2-yard line. That pass, by the way, from high school quarterback Julian Spigner, who became a wide receiver and threw a decent-looking toss.
Well, in the Lehigh Valley, you and I got to look at Julian Spigner for 3 years playing quarterback at Bethlehem Catholic, and he completed over 6,000 yards. And this one, I just like the way he doesn't lay it out to him and make him run to it. He gave him the ball with Zadok Scott, the freshman, his second catch of the day. He just put it in there and allowed Zadok to use his long stride. And Zadok gets it down inside the 2 in a must-score situation for Lafayette.
45-yard pass. Spigner to Scott. It's done in the backfield. Long count. Dunn has it. And he can't find anything. That hole closed very quickly. Loss is back to the 5. Coming up was Clay Myers out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a sophomore. First time we've called his name today.
That's a tough play for the offense when you're running the ball sideways, and you see right there, you see him just get off the block very quickly. As you said, Gary, do a nice job just getting off the block, and that's tough for an offensive lineman. Sam Chitty gets in there, makes the first contact, and Lafayette goes backwards on their first play.
Chitty's from Oregon. He's played a good ball game. West Lynn, Oregon. Leads the team in tackles for a loss. Gave him a 10. High snap. And O'Malley's in. I'm not sure if that was the play or the high snap created that play, but there certainly was a nice hole on the left side.
Well, Lafayette tried this play earlier in the game. It's just basically that quarterback read, but he doesn't have a chance to read it. Like Gary said, the snap from the senior Zadoveski's a little bit high, and you see them pull Stilianos around, and Stilianos gets the seal block. Not the prettiest way to work, but great job by Sean O'Malley answering after the interception and taking his team down the field and making a play. A couple trick plays in there for John Garrett results in 7 points.
Sean's first rushing touchdown of the year. Here's Cordenbrock down, and the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide to the left side, the official says. So Lafayette cannot tie this game up. Boy, they have had kicking game problems, no doubt about it this year. Blocked extra points, blocked field goal attempts.
Take another look at it here. Wasn't sure if he just yanked it kind of left, and there you got a great look at it here. Yeah, it's no good. Yeah, it went outside. Great call right there. Just looking straight up the shaft of the pole, and field judge had the call. That definitely was yanked left by Cordenbrock. Lafayette remains 1 point down. So even when they get a good play, they end up backing themselves into a corner and still losing the football game by 1.
They went 66 yards in just 5 plays. The big play, of course, was the Spigner pass as he dropped it to Scott, Zadok Scott. And Zadok made the catch, got it down to the 2, and then the 5-yard run by Sean O'Malley. Zadok out of Aleta, Texas. Just a freshman, 6'4", 225. End over end. This one will be well, maybe not. From deep, 1 yard deep in the end zone. And a pretty good run back before the tackle. As running it back was Brian Marine. Tackle made by Yazir Thomas. Bucknell will have it 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Brian Marine, just kind of feeling his way. And you see those returners, you want a returner to hit it hard and get up into those blocks, almost kind of run up the butt of those blocks and then make that one cut. Brian Marine did that. Nice 29-yard return.
And the ball was on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Bucknell does not have much in terms of offense here in the second half. But of course, the interception for a touchdown helped that problem. They dropped the ball right off to Brandon Sanders. Sanders, who can be electric, takes it upfield before Yazir Thomas is there to tackle him, and that looks like he got a 1st down. Gain of 10.
Yeah, both teams with some really innovative type plays. They're going to bring Sanders across in motion and then take the fake. And again, just quick, easy throws for the quarterbacks. And you see the speed of Sanders, as Gary mentioned there. Yazir Thomas had to make the tackle.
Back to throw. Bittenkoffer, it's a screen. They drop it down to Jared Cooper. He just hasn't been able to make too much happen today. Tackled this time by Major Jordan. And the gain to the 44 is a pickup of 5.
Yeah, good play by Jordan, because if he doesn't get there, I think Jared Cooper's out the other side. Watch right here. You get a little block in the back there, not called. But Jared Cooper was kind of one step away. Good job by him keeping his balance there. Second down and good 5 yards.
Here comes Cooper. Looking for a hole, nothing there. Maybe got to the 45. Middle of the Lafayette defensive unit there to make the stop. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. First one there looked like Colin Hurlbrick.
Yeah, Colin's getting a little bit more playing time also. Just a freshman in there doing a nice job. Big body in the middle. Big down right here, Gary. Big 3rd down and 4.
Hurlbrick is out of Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
It's going to bring the blitz here. We'll see what Bittenkoffer can do. Maybe he can change the play. And
Crossan looked like he was coming. Now he is coming. And it's going to be intercepted. As the ball was tipped right into the hands of Trent Crossan. Crossan down the sideline will take it into Bucknell territory. Trent Crossan gets Lafayette's first turnover of the game.
Well, this is kind of just head hours down the middle of the field and set them up. They ran this before for a first down. This ball just a little bit off center. Watch, going to get a great look at it. Malik Ham puts the pressure on. Major Jordan gets in there, gets his hand up, tips the football, and that's a heck of a catch by the senior captain, Trent Crossan, to come up with that football. That ball was really ricocheted. But those are the things you practice, the tip drills, and John Garrett can kind of smell taking the lead right here. This is where Lafayette, they might do a little bit of a play fake here. You got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Look for a little play fake here to go up top to Pearson.
Give Major Jordan a lot of credit for his coverage on that pass play. 1st and 10 from the Bucknell 32-yard line. Hand the ball off. Cutting back against the grain is C.J. Emile. And Emile's going to get to the 26. He'll pick up 6 before he is tackled by Joe Laura.
You kind of follow the feel of this game. Lafayette probably didn't have any reason to put the ball up in the air unless they're going to throw some quick game or something to the outside. They've been running the ball very effectively, now over 110, 15 yards. A couple different backs in the game. Dunn did a good job. Haven't seen him back in there, but Lafayette running the ball effectively now with a 2nd down and short can open the playbook a little bit.
Picked up 6, 2nd and 4. Back to throw, O'Malley. He's looking for a white shirt. He fires, and he tried to find Nick Pearson. Pearson was coming back for it, and the ball sailed over the head as coverage supplied by Sterling Deary.
And Nick Pearson a little dejected right there. He had run a curl route about 12 yards down, came back to 10, but that ball was off target. Not very accurate throw there, but 3rd down and 4. You throw the ball on 2nd down. You still have an opportunity here. And with Lafayette's kicking woes right now, on a missed 41-yarder and a missed extra point, you wonder if Lafayette is in field goal range or if they are willing to go for it on 4th down if they don't pick it up here. They've run the ball a couple times here, Gary, on these 3rd down and shorts. Bucknell's going to bring some pressure.
Certainly within Jake Bissell's range, but he's been so inconsistent. Oh, there's a nice little play by Nick Pearson. Went down and turned. The ball laid perfectly that time at the 17, a gain of 9, and coverage supplied by Marine.
If Lafayette goes on to win this football game, that is a really beautiful throw. Remember, just a couple plays ago, O'Malley threw that similar pass for an interception for a touchdown, but now Pearson gets that little bit of separation, and you see the strength in O'Malley's arm to fit that into that small window as we're going to take it into the 4th quarter.
We will take it into the 4th quarter with Bucknell up by 1, 21-20, but Lafayette's down on the Bucknell 17. Welcome back. Chatting about what happens here if the Leopards get into the end zone. Down by 1. But first, we've got ourselves a 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Welcome back. Start the 4th quarter. That's done. He's not going anywhere. He is going to lose at least 2 yards, maybe 3. Coming up to make the hit was Rick Mottram.
Yeah, nice play there by Mottram. He just got inside Jake Marotti on the backside. That's a tough cutoff block for the backside tackle. And when you're patient in the backfield, sometimes it can kind of go against you there. And Dunn tried to take his time running the football, and that time gave Mottram some time to get down the line of scrimmage. Great play by the linebacker.
2nd and 13 passing situation for Sean. Well, now he's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's looking Spigner's way, who is out wide to the right side. Instead, they're going to go to the left side with Dunn. Can he get the corner? No, he cannot. That's a good hard tackle by number 36, Brandon Benson, and there is a flag. That's going to be perhaps unnecessary roughness, personal foul.
Yeah, I think so too. It happened out of bounds. A tackle was being made as Dunn crossed the end line, and the defender just didn't stop. And you can't fault him. He's trying to make a tackle there, and you know they've already waved off 2 penalties against Bucknell. We'll see if they waive off a 3rd here. I don't think so. The Hanky's still on the ground.
Here's the call.
After the play, personal foul. Defense, number 36. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Wow, that is a huge mistake by Bucknell.
Yeah, they did a great job stringing it out, Gary. Watch here, they string it all the way out, and then the defender just kind of loses track of where he is on the sideline. And really just kind of continues. Brandon Benson, the sophomore safety, made a great play there. He just, again, I think he crossed the end line. He didn't know where he was, just trying to get done on the ground. That's a really tough call.
Down on the sideline right now getting worked on is Mike Dunn as the ball is placed just inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal to go. That was just the 2nd penalty against Bucknell the entire game. Backfiring. Oh, what a catch. Is it a good one? It is a good one at the moment. As catching it is Quinn Revere. I don't know if he got down inbounds.
Well, I tell you what, he went way up, and it was a back shoulder throw as Quinn Revere goes up and makes the catch. Keep your eye, his little RPO fake here. He goes to his 2nd. See if he gets his left foot down. He's going to catch the ball definitely. Oh, he's inbounds.
Yeah.
And he held on. Yep, he held on to the football. Nothing there that's going to overturn that one. And Lafayette looks like they're going to line up, I think, Gary, to go for 2. Up just 5 points.
I think if I recall the chart correctly, if you're up 5, you always go for 2.
Yeah, and depending, if this was the first half, I think you'd see them probably kick this field goal, but I think these points are so important, and 2 yards on this play. Last time we saw O'Malley, they like down here with the quarterback keeping the ball in his hands. Maybe a little bit of a quarterback read option here. They've run that successfully a couple times today.
Quinn Revere's 2nd touchdown of the year for Sean. That's touchdown number 3.
And that's going to make it a little easier.
Flag here.
I think the nose guard jumped into the neutral zone and made contact. That's going to make it a little easier.
Offside. Defense, number 9.
Now it's a yard and a half instead of 3.
Now the tough part is what play do you call? Usually you got a pass play set up for this. Now you're a yard and a half closer.
Yeah.
Do you run the football?
Well, we've seen some great ones, Gary, having the last couple of years, Philly special and all these other plays. And I think you come to something. You have a 2-point play all week that you work on, maybe 1 or 2 of them, but you've run it over and over and over, and we haven't seen Lafayette really go for 2 all year. So this is a play you know that they've practiced.
Trying to go up by 7. Back to throw, firing, and it's intercepted. Oh no, not again. This is deja vu all over again as the lateral is paid. Last year an interception like this went for a touchdown and won the ball game. So Lafayette comes up empty on the 2-point conversion try. It's a very precarious 5-point lead. Stay with us.
Media timeout.
Welcome back. The drive, 32 yards in 6 plays. Let's go to John.
Yeah, Gary thwarted on the 2-point conversion. On top of that, on the previous play, Mike Dunn, you see him there getting his hamstring taped up. He's going to be down. And for the rest of the game, that's a pulled hamstring. Bad news for the Leopard run game. Back to you.
Dunn might have been the guy from a yard and a half out for the 2-point conversion that would have carried that football. He was not available. We'll see how big that looms as we finish this one out. Pistol, he got a little angry. He had a little bit of wind, so he kicked it out of the end zone. Bucknell starting their own 25-yard line. They have not done much offensively. In fact, virtually nothing.
In the second half, their only points coming off the interception returned by Deary.
They have 1 first down, Mike, in the second half. They have 9 yards rushing in the second half. Let's go back and take a look at the TD.
Wow, what a catch by Quinn Revere. Back of the end zone. He almost throws him open. You hear about quarterbacks throwing somebody open. That is a gorgeous throw, and you see Quinn Revere just get that left foot down, and he's pointing. Lafayette's defense is going to fall on them right now to see if they can keep Bucknell from advancing the football.
Came up with a big interception on the last possession. Hand the ball off to Jared Cooper. Cooper's been able only to pick up 1 or 2 yards or so every time he's carried. Looks like they're going to give him 3 yards. Yeah, 2. Tackle made by Harrison Greenhill.
Yeah, Harrison Greenhill's done a nice job. Remember, a transfer from the West Point. Strong at the point of attack, and Lafayette still missing Anthony Jadis, the strong nose guard that they had with some hip injuries.
The longest Bucknell run today has been 4 yards. It's out here. It is caught by Brandon Sanders, and he immediately got hit by Jerry Poe at the 30-yard line. So a gain of 3 and a big 3rd and 5.
Terrific play by Poe out there, the senior captain. Watch him just kind of get upfield and get into the offensive guy. There's really nothing there that Sanders can do. He runs right into Jerry Poe, and Jerry Poe, you can see him going after the football as well, trying to create another turnover. This is where you got to keep your eye on Sanders, maybe on a drag route or something. Lafayette, no free safety in the middle of the field. Now they're going to back out.
5-yard penalty will come against Bucknell as their big lineman,
Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's Justice Peppers out of King George, Virginia.
You know, Gary, I was watching a game the other day, and starting tackle for the Houston Texans, I believe it's Houston Texans, Julian Davenport, remember, used to play here.
Yes,
Julian,
he did.
Starting offensive tackle. Just such a talented young man.
Well, we couldn't block him. When he was here, he was outstanding.
Terrific offensive tackle.
So a 3rd and 5 turns into a 3rd and 10. And Lafayette trying to get, and they finally do get, Bittenkoffer as Ryan Barnett gets, we think, his first sack of the year. He came in with 13 tackles. Chatham, New Jersey is where Ryan's from.
Yeah, he missed him the first time, but he came back around again. Great job. Ryan Barnett does a nice job, and you see the pressure up the middle of the field by Breedlove. But Ryan was not going to be denied that time, and this time you'll see him punting. The wind kind of swirling now, and now at the back of Alex Peacham.
Won't get credit for a sack because it was actually a 2-yard gain. And Peacham again with a punt, and again. Oh, that's a penalty. Oh, my.
And CJ's hurt, too.
He got interfered with.
My goodness. That time you saw Deary. He's been made such great plays all day long, and he just did not pull up. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and Lafayette taking a little bit of exception to the way that their senior captain was hit.
I don't blame him. That was a vicious hit.
Good to see him get back up.
1st and 10 Lafayette from the 50-yard line. Coming around the other side with the ball is Grandjean. Grandjean stays in bounds and then steps out of bounds. They'll say he stepped out at the 45, a gain of 5.
John Garrett comes right out with a trick play to open up this quarter. I mean, this drive here. Grandjean, he's come alive here in the last couple of weeks here. Grandjean just the ability to get the corner there and pick up 5 yards.
He's out of Windermere, Florida. John gave him a lot of credit for sticking things out, getting better every season that John's been here, his 2nd year, because he is a senior, is Chris. And he's put in the 4 tough years, and now getting rewarded. So Simpson, that's a huge hole. Simpson went about 15 yards before he got touched by anybody in a blue jersey. Tackle was made by Joe Schiano. That's Greg Schiano's son. Take a look.
What a terrific block again. John Burke in there, and you see Zadoveski. When you can hook and get leverage on the nose guard, and that's what Zadoveski did that time. You have to have linebackers fill in those gaps, and Lafayette on that right side between Barkley and Burke did a great job just kind of opening up that hole. And seeing the game maybe finish the way it started here with Selwyn Simpson running the ball downhill.
The Leopards have 141 yards on the ground. Backfiring, and that ball is in Nick Pearson's belly. He will collect it at the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Fazelo Olaue. And that's going to be a gain of 13.
Well, John Garrett going back to some of the plays he opened the game with, and this is the ball that was tipped and intercepted the second time they tried it. The first time, very similar to that result there, but good job by O'Malley just allowing the safety to get out of the way and chase the bubble route, and then the slant route just opened right up there for Pearson.
First and 10 from the 19. 9:35 to go in the fourth quarter.
Sean milking the clock a little bit here as well, down under 5 seconds.
Lafayette wants to make it a 2-possession game. Hand the ball off, that won't get much. Simpson is the ball carrier. Simpson will get a yard, hit pretty much at the line of scrimmage by Rick Mottram. Motram's going to get some accolades when they watch film. He's made a number of tackles, just a sophomore, 6'1", 220.
You're kind of in field goal range if you're Lafayette. To get this to an 8-point lead would be 29-21, but a touchdown would go huge, and good to see C.J. Emile back in the ball game. He's going to line up probably next to Sean O'Malley. A touchdown would be huge here for Lafayette. You know, Stylianos is a guy that dropped the ball early in the first quarter. They haven't gone back to him. Take a look maybe to see hit Stylianos down the seam here.
Take the handoff. Sean will roll to his left. He'll fire, drop the ball off. Not an easy catch for Will Eisler. The ball was thrown on his left hip, and he had to turn his body almost completely around to make that catch, and he did just that. Van Italy there to make the tackle at the 12, a gain of 6.
Yeah, you said it, Gary. What a catch. Watch his catches it with basically with one hand on the back, and Will Eisler's a great story. He's a guy that before the season started that John Garrett surprised both him and Trent Crossan with a scholarship. They were walk-ons, the guys that didn't have scholarships, but prior to the season, just a great announcement on Leopard.com about 2 deserving players picking up scholarships for their senior years.
Huge play here for both ball clubs. 3rd and 3 from the 12. High snap, keeping it, and unable to go anywhere with it. And in fact, the loss is a loss of 3, back to the 15. So it looks like another field goal attempt will come for Lafayette. Matt Robinson in on this tackle.
Nice job by the Bucknell defense here, just getting off of blocks. A play that Lafayette ran in the first quarter, went for about 6 or 7 yards, and that time you see Sean O'Malley wasn't there, and he did the smart thing, putting the ball really back into the middle of the field here for Hortonbrock to try to convert this and make it a 9-point lead.
He has missed a 42-yarder. He's missed an extra point today. Now a 32-yarder. Kick is up, and this one is right down the middle, as the Leopards will go up by 8, 28-21. It's a cushion, but it's not an insurmountable cushion. We are back. Lafayette getting ready to kick the ball off. 32-yard field goal by Jeff Hortonbrock gave Lafayette a 7, make it an 8-point lead, 29-21. Kicking it off, Jake Bissell. Let's kick the few into the end zone. He'll do it again. This one I don't think will come out. It will not. Nice job by Bissell, because Brian Marine is dangerous and Brandon Sanders dangerous. And they haven't been able to bring too many of them out of the end zone. The ball come out to the 25. Mike Bucknell's had the ball 4 times in this second half. 3 of those, we'll make it 5 times. 4 have started on the 25-yard line.
Yeah, they absolutely. And the thing for Lafayette now is it turns this over to maybe a throwing game for Bittencourt for the rest of the way, and that I think would lead into the hands of Lafayette's defensive line being the strength really of this entire team, kind of maybe able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback a little bit.
Back to throw. There's a quick slant pattern caught by Justin Bethea. And Bethea will quickly get it up to midfield. Eric Mitchell riding him down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 49. 26 yards.
Yeah, good looking play there. You see the strength in Bittencourt's arm. We talked about O'Malley, but this ball is just a strike between the linebacker and the corner that time, and nothing really Eric Mitchell can do, but beautiful play by Bethea. Just finding that dead zone.
Lafayette held Georgetown to 1 first down in the second half last week. Before that first down, they had held Bucknell to just 2. Carrying the football, Jared Cooper. Keep him honest, but he gets no yards. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Lafayette just up 8 points right here. Bittenkoffer at midfield. Really hasn't taken a shot all the way down the field. Both teams have really not tried to go up over the top of these defenses, as you see.
Brandon Sanders comes back into the ball game. He'll be set out wide to the right side.
I get the feeling like each team maybe want to take a shot down the field here.
Looking, stepping up, and the ball is caught. Jared Cooper, he was a safety valve, and he just dropped the ball off to him. They're going to give him forward progress, looks like to the 43-yard line. That would be a gain of 6 as a tackle was made by Major Jordan.
And again, nice job by Bittenkoffer, just kind of stepping up. You want your young quarterbacks to climb the pocket. Many times you see them kind of bail left or bail right, but he did a nice job just climbing the pocket and finding his check down.
3rd and 4. I'm sure they're in 4-down territory.
It's going to play zone here, 2 deep over the top zone.
Down, that'll be a first down as the ball is grabbed by Brandon Sanders. Tackle made by Major Jordan. As the ball will be placed at the 38-yard line, a gain of 5.
I really like the way Sanders, again, just zone coverage here. Breedlove right there, held just a little bit, but these quick throws don't allow a big-time pass rush to get there. The ball coming out of Bittenkoffer's hands very quickly.
Under 5 minutes to go in regulation. And the ball, no, keeping the football is Bittenkoffer. He's got a nice gain. Here comes a penalty flag, though. This one's coming back in the area of holding.
Yeah, it looks like it may have been holding just on the edge. Not sure what else it could have been. The flag was thrown right around the 30-yard line. This is a big, big penalty against Bucknell.
We'll wait for the call from referee Jeff Janoneski.
Holding. Offense, number 45. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It remains first down.
Now let's see if we can get a good look at it. But it was you knew it kind of was coming. There's so many handoffs inside to Cooper there, and you see the DN just kind of come down a little bit too hard, and the corner, the junior out there, Eric Mitchell, was getting held on the backside. So big penalty to overcome here for the sophomore quarterback. They like to run screen in these situations, but Lafayette's been pretty good against the screen defensively.
1st and 12. Back to throw, Bittenkoffer, and he'll just throw it away. That was supposed to be a screen pass to Brandon Sanders, and Sanders was totally engulfed by 3 white jerseys.
Yeah, he just kind of tried to slip it out. It's a great call. Stephon Moore Green there, the junior, trying to slip out of the backfield, and again, that was looked up and covered extremely well there by Keith Ellis.
So it's 2nd and 10.
Keith Earl, excuse me.
Lafayette blitzing. Back to throw, firing, too high. Pass intended for Justin Bethea. No chance. Bittenkoffer, I think, smelled the blitz and knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly, and he was wild high.
Yeah, he did throw the ball to the backside. He had that same slant play as Eric Mitchell was on the coverage, and watch Bittenkoffer take a shot right here after he releases the football.
Leopard fans are on their feet, making some noise down below us.
If you're Bucknell guy, you're probably in 2-down territory, so Bittenkoffer, you don't need all 12 yards here.
3rd and 12.
Lafayette looking like they're going to play some zone coverage here. 5 under, 2 deep.
Bittenkoffer back. Now he breaks out of the pocket. He's going to go deep. He's got a man wide open. That's going to be a touchdown. Oh my, what a toss. Justin Bethea got behind the entire Lafayette defense for a 40-yard touchdown strike to get to within 2.
And that's on the safety that time. Trent Cross, and the senior captain, he just did not get off the hash. You see Bethea, he's going to get around the corner, but Eric Mitchell is responsible for really kind of the deep out to the flat. Just a great pickoff right there, as you can see it. Just the safety just never gets off the hash. He's got a bad angle, and a beautiful throw by Bittenkoffer is going to tie this game up with an extra point. Although they look like they may be going for 2, Gary.
Well, why not? You got to tie it up.
Sorry, you're right, 2.
They were down by 8. So the biggest play of the game so far right here.
You see Lafayette straight man-to-man. He's got to try to find the matchup he likes, and you got to maybe look at a guy like Sanders here.
Rolling to his right, looking, nobody open, in trouble, firing, and it is, incomplete. It was batted twice and almost batted to a Bucknell receiver, and Lafayette stays up by 2, 29-27. Take a look at this.
Yeah, you see Malik Cam just about to get there, grabs the shirt. The ball was on target to Bethea. Somebody's just got a hand in there to tip it up in the air, and the Lafayette defense comes up big, but after giving up 6 points on the third, I think, blown coverage of the game. And Trent Crossan's got to wonder why he wasn't off the hash, finding a receiver on 3rd down and 13 down the sideline. The quarterback down there, Bittenkoffer, slow to get up.
He's being helped up right now. He's had quite a day. He has 3 touchdown passes now, 7 on the year. And it looks like he may have hurt his knee.
Yeah, he
oh,
can't
that's
put
not good.
Any weight on that. We know the backup quarterback, I think.
That'll be Charlanzio.
Charlanzio, right? Boy, he can't put any weight. They're going to take him right into the locker room. Ham had him by the shirt, and then I wonder if Ham came down on him as well.
For Bethea, that was his first touchdown catch of the year. They went 75 yards in 8 plays, but unable to convert the tying 2-point conversion. Now it's up to the Leopards to try to take as much time off the clock, and up to Bucknell's defense to make sure that doesn't happen. 4 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left.
This is where Lafayette, who's run the ball so effectively here in this ball game, the best probably they've run the ball since maybe 2 years ago at Lehigh, where they put up 176 yards of rushing offense.
I've got him for 139 so far today.
Well, no more important than here to put your 4-minute offense on the field, and that includes Selwyn Simpson and C.J. Emil, and they're going to have to pick up a couple first downs, or Bucknell's going to get the football back.
Leopards are really playing up close, and that's why, as the ball is caught by Selwyn Simpson, but a Leopard had called for a fair catch. So you cannot advance the ball once somebody does that. But the Leopards will still get the ball at the 26-yard line.
Number 33 of the receiving team called for a fair catch. Number 22 caught the ball. It's placed where number 22 caught the ball.
Well, that was a clear explanation.
Ryan Dickens, that ball.
Speaking of clear explanations, here's John.
You are the Sultan of the Segway. Hey, Gary, before we get out of here, a note to the Lafayette community. Just this past Wednesday, we lost one of the great ones. Condolences to Marty Zippel's family. Marty had a great one of the truly great ones. A great basketball player, Hall of Famer, great baseball player. Condolences. We'll miss you, Marty.
Well said, John. One of the best Lafayette fans and athletes ever. Keeping the ball, O'Malley. He's got a little bit of hole, a slide. Over the 30, looks like they'll mark it at the 30. So we'll pick up just 4. The Leopards looking to get a first down or 2. So they'll look at a 2nd and 6.
At least one. If you could pick up one first down here, you're going to
please set the game clock to 4:09.
But it should continue to run. It shouldn't stop.
Waiting for it to set. Now it sets. Now they wind it up.
So Lafayette going to snap this ball probably right around 3 minutes and 30 some odd seconds left. They're going to take their time here. They need to pick up at least, I think, another first down here. But you go back to the fact that Bittenkoffer went to the locker room. Charlanzio is going to have to come in the ball game, but Bucknell only needs a field goal.
Lafayette's only win came 3 weeks ago against Central Connecticut State, 31-24. Hand the ball off, cut up inside, not much there. But Selwyn at least got more yardage than he probably should have with a good second effort. We're going to get a Bucknell timeout. And Lafayette's going to be looking at a 3rd and 4.
That's their first timeout of the half.
And a big 3rd down here. Do you throw the football, Gary? I think you may give some sort of an option on the corner for O'Malley if it's not there.
30-second timeout.
But again, you don't want to stop the clock as well. You want to make sure Bucknell uses another timeout.
Well, with 3:38 to go, I think you pretty much have to get the first down. So if you have to throw it to do it, then throw the ball to do it.
First down, you definitely could run at least another 1.5 to 2 minutes off of this clock. And
Bucknell would then be forced, obviously, to use one or maybe both of the timeouts they have left. The hard part here, Michael, is what do you call? You're looking at a long 3rd and 5.
So far today, Lafayette on 3rd down is 5 for 10, so that's pretty darn good. But, you know, I think you're right, Gary. I think you got to take a chance here at finding a play where O'Malley has options, where he can maybe roll out. Out of this formation, they like to take C.J. Emil out into the flat from the far side of the field here. He's set closest to O'Malley here.
They have to get to the 37. Bucknell is blitzing. Back looking and coming back for it, and there's no flag there. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's a flag.
Here it comes. Getting hit early was Nick Pearson by Brian Marine, who's been with Pearson all day long.
Yeah, he's done a great job, Brian Marine. That's a tough situation.
Well, let's make sure the
they're gonna
penalty
wave it off.
is against Bucknell.
Now they're going to wave it off.
We've had more wave-offs today.
There is no foul for illegal touching. Incomplete pass.
I think the flag did Pearson go out of bounds and then come back in. So it wasn't an interference call. The question is, was he out of bounds first? That is a tight call right there. And Lafayette right now needs a great Jake Bissell punt.
They do.
And
Brian
coverage.
Marine is deep to receive it, and he is dangerous. He averages 10.8 yards per return. He has a 67-yard return, and Lafayette's going to be penalized 5 yards because of Yazir Thomas.
Number 4, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
That's their first penalty of the second half. Well, somebody in the next 3 minutes and 34 seconds is going to be ecstatic, and somebody is going to be sickened by the outcome of this one. That's a good punt, not returnable. That's the good news. Gets a Lafayette bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 24. Well, if you ever needed a 45-yard kick, that was the time for the Leopards to get it, 45 yards.
And he does. He did not just kicked it 45 yards, but kicked it away from, as you said, a dangerous Brian Marine. And we'll see who comes out here at quarterback. It's not going to be Logan Bidekoffer. Probably going to be Charlanzio.
Yeah, it'll be Charlanzio on the season, 39 for 70, 3 interceptions, 247 yards. He has not thrown a touchdown pass. Charlanzio was their starting quarterback, but it is going to be Taryn Earl, a freshman, 6'3", 185, who has not played, I don't think, as they hand the ball off. That's going nowhere. And the clock will continue to run on a 1-yard run by Jared Cooper.
Said Gary, Taryn Earl, 6'3", 185, freshman out of Montclair, New Jersey, and he looks like he may be a guy that can run the read option. Looks like he was coming out the other side, and you got to wonder what he's feeling like inside in his belly right now.
He had a lot of running room last time. Back to throw, flips it out here. Good catch by Cooper. Cooper will turn it upfield. I think he's going to be shy of a first down. They're going to give him a good spot. Tackle made by Michael Rood. He got a really good spot there.
Yeah, this referee's probably behind the line. The other referee, they're going to try to take a look at this to see where he went down. I think they're going to question that spot, because that is an exceptional spot.
It is. That spot gives them a first down. I don't think there's any question about that.
He was at least a high. They're going to try to measure it over there. I wonder if John's going to take the opportunity to see where he came down. I think he has to. There's no way that spot is correct.
And John, I believe, is challenging the spot.
I like that. Well, they have it marked, Gary, right at the 34, just on the line.
Yeah,
Well, it's definitely going to be a first down by the measurement. The question is the spot correct?
There's the first down. I thought John may have talked to the official about challenging the spot. All right, let's take a look at it here, and you can be an official at home.
Again, they mark him at the 34, so he makes a really nice move right here and gets up the field. His knees down.
Oh, he's not even close.
His knees down right around the 32-yard line. I think they got to look at this spot. That's not a very good call by the head linesman out there.
Well, the chains haven't moved. That's the other problem. Now they finally decide to move the chains, but it's first down and 10 with the ball at the 33. 4, make it the 34 yard.
They're going to bring a little bit of pressure here.
Back to throw. The freshman fires downfield and trying to make a acrobatic catch is Justin Bethea. Coverage by Eric Mitchell.
Justin Bethea, he's dangerous. He did a great job, played a great game so far. A couple catches down the sideline, really not a lot of room to work with. And you see Earl just a little bit off. He's got to try to lead him in there, and Trent Crossan, a better job of coming off the hash that time and being in position to make a play in case that ball was caught.
2 minutes and 31 seconds. Bucknell with 2 timeouts left. Lafayette is all 3. And the ball to Cooper. Cooper does have it. Tackle is made by Breedlove. Keep looking for the quarterback to keep the ball. Also in there was Malik Ham.
Lafayette going to bring in a little bit of reserves here to rush the passer. Chuma comes in and Lamb comes in. Colin Thorne.
There's a loss of a yard.
He's down at 11 for the young freshman quarterback.
Back looking, firing. He's got his man. He gets the ball into Bethea's belly. As a tackle made by Eric Mitchell. That's a pretty nice throw by the freshman up to the 47, 48-yard line. That's a 15-yard pickup.
And the defender, underneath defender's got to get out. That's Jack Lamb. If he's responsible for the curl the flat, he's got to get out underneath that.
Back to throw, Earl. This time he's in some trouble, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. Good work that time by Demetrius Breedlove. He almost got the sack. Getting rid of it at the last second was quarterback Harrell.
Lafayette sideline looking for a hold in there, but nice job by Breedlove. And Taron Earl, he's got good feet, doesn't he? Just get to the outside there. And
I like his composure.
Yeah, good composure as well. And he's trying to bring his team back. He's faced with a 2nd down and 10 now, a 3rd and 11 before that he completed.
Remember, they only need a field goal. Back, good protection, starts the breakdown. Now he finds an open man. Tackle is made by Trent Crossan, as the catch is made by Brandon Sanders. And did they stop the clock? They did.
3rd down and probably 7 or 8 here. Again, much better protection this time. And good job, like you said, Gary. Good poise in there by Earl, stepping up, making a play on the drag route. Sanders has run a bunch of those routes today, those underneath routes.
They got 3, 3rd and 7. Leopards bringing everybody. And they get to the quarterback. As coming in to get him is Jerry Poe. For Poe, that is his 2nd 2.5 sacks now on the season for Jerry Poe. Yeah. Huge play, loss of 10.
Great play by the senior. You know, big players, you got to make big plays. And this time Jerry Poe, he's going to come all the way around.
That's your 2nd time
and just get to the legs there. Teron Earl, great play by the senior, and it's going to come down here, Gary, to a 4th down and long.
4th and 17 to set the stage. They'll have 1 timeout remaining. There's 1 minute and 22 seconds on the clock. So the Leopards have to defend their own 42-yard line. If Bucknell does not get that far, Lafayette will get the ball on downs. Remember, we'll be back in 2 weeks when Holy Cross comes to Easton, PA for a 12:30 ball game. And again, we mentioned Bucknell has a bye next week, and then they'll take on Lehigh at Lehigh. That's a 12:30 contest.
This here, you can see the Lafayette coach just gathering the defensive linemen and letting them know to try to keep him in the pocket. You do not want Earl to break outside and have a free lane that now put defenders in a 2-way go, whether they have to come up or they have to defend. So very important for a guy at the top like Keith Earl to stay and keep the right-handed quarterback in the box. You're going to put down here at the bottom. You got another defender for Lafayette. You got Breedlove in there. Down here at the bottom, Billy Schaefer, a freshman. Lafayette looks like they may just rush 3. They are going to rush just 3.
Running around and going down. The pressure by Keith Earl. Keith Earl was all over quarterback Taryn Earl, and Earl fell down trying to get away from Keith Earl.
Yeah, and the snap might have been, the snap was on his left hip. And I just talked about Keith Earl just remaining, they didn't even block him. Very, very unlikely play there you see at the end of the game. 3-man rush for Lafayette, nobody picks up Keith Earl, and Lafayette should be able to put a couple of kneel downs here and get out of Lewisburg with their first win in a long time here.
That's true. They have not won since 2013. Bucknell has won the last 4. This is the 96th game. Lafayette leads the series 52-37 and 6. But it's kneel down time for the Lafayette Leopards. 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock.
What's that? Wow, that's
Brian Marine who came across and made the tackle. There's been some jawing all day. And certainly Lafayette took offense, and rightfully so, by the hit from Sterling Deary on C.J. Emile. John saying, look, just keep the clock running. Stop this pushing and shoving with the clock stop. Run the clock.
They're going to use their last
timeout. Bucknell, that's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Well, you get a little chippy in there. This is just a straight kneel down play, and all D linemen are just kind of pushing inside. Didn't really like the play by Brian Marine. You can't come around the edge and hit the quarterback when he's on a knee. That, to me, is a unsportsmanlike conduct there. And obviously Bucknell very upset. They don't want to lose a homecoming game at home. They played probably just well enough in the first half, but haven't been able to do much in the second half, especially running the football. That's been the difference in the game.
Coming up, of course, we'll have the post-game show presented by the Maroon Club, and we'll have our player of the game presented by Coca-Cola. All of that is coming up once we get to 0-0-0 on the clock. Lafayette trying to go to 1-2 in the Patriot League, and Bucknell will go to 1-2 unless some unforeseen circumstance occurs. Logan Whalen is back to make sure nothing.
Well, the umpire too, Gary. He's got to take control and let these kids know that there can't be any of that extracurricular. You can see him standing over the football right there. You know, everything within the rule book.
Now they cannot stop the clock, but Lafayette will have to snap it at least one more time. And another instance where a referee can kind of take his time a little bit and make sure there's only one more play.
Yeah, this is going to be a disappointing loss for Bucknell. They not only, Gary, are they going to lose the football game if Lafayette closes out, but they lose their quarterback as well, a kid that's been playing and probably played his best game of the year today, especially in that first half. But give credit to Lafayette's offensive line. I thought was fantastic today, keeping Sean O'Malley upright and then opening some holes for over 125 yards rushing.
Final play of the ball game, one would think. Now the Leopards can shake hands, pat people on the back, and the two coaches will meet at midfield. John Garrett, Joe Susan. John in his second year, Joe Susan in his 9th year. Good hard-nosed football game. We expected good defense. We saw it for the most part. We expected turnovers. We certainly had those. And we expected a close game, and we had that. Lafayette wins 29-27. That's it for John Leone, the RCN television team, headed up by Rick Guijo, and of course Mike Joseph and John Beat Bowman. We thank you for spending the afternoon with us. For all of us, I'm Gary Laubach. Goodbye, everybody.